land motherfuckers. We replace your regularly scheduled program to bring you this goddamn special-ass episode of Uninformed. Welcome to the Uninformed Mixtape, sluts. I'm your host, Bernard Valentine, from the world's nastiest sex rap group, Deep, the Uninformed Mixtape. Tonight we're gonna bless that ass with some of Bill and Joe's greatest goddamn hits, and in addition to that bullshit, we're gonna shove some brand new exclusive cuts right up your pee hole. Also tonight, a brand new discussion with a real live 5-0. That's right, we're gonna pick the motherfucking brain of a motherfucking ex-cop. Fuck you! The Uninformed Mixtape, tonight, right now. This episode has been pre-recorded, so that means don't try calling in, you stupid asshole. If you got some shit to say, email it to uninformedradio@gmail.com. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Hey, yo, enough fucking around. Let's start this shit. Here's a brand new, hot off the press discussion between Bill and Joe. Uninformed.
I could not sleep last night, man. I knew we had to get up today.
I know, dude. You look like shit.
To do this, because we're out every night doing shows till late. So to get up at 10 a.m.
We're out there on the circuit.
To get up at 10 a.m. to be in here by 12 to do like this pre-recorded episode, I was like, all right, I'm going to go right home after my spots and go right to bed at like 3 a.m. and try to get 6 or 7 hours of sleep.
I'm trying to be responsible.
Yeah. And I didn't drink. I just went right home. And, dude, I was just laying in my bed till 7 a.m. I could not sleep. I tried reading for a while. I didn't fall asleep. I'm reading...
That's the worst.
And I'm reading Wicked, which...
What is that? That sounds like something a divorced woman would read on a beach.
I know, that's exactly...
In the middle of summer.
It's that book they based that musical on, about the Witches of Oz, where, the posters, it's like Wicked, a new musical about the Witches of Oz.
Can I tell you something? I don't know what one of those fucking musicals about, Chicago, Oklahoma, any of them. It's just a bunch of people in, people in frilly dresses over there.
Yeah, just
singing songs.
Fruits over there. Yeah. And the slogan on the poster, it shows the two witches from the Wizard of Oz, and then the slogan is, a whole lot happened before Dorothy dropped in. It's real sassy.
Oh my God.
So I'm reading that book right now. So
Why do you have that book, first of all?
My roommate had it. She had it, and I was like, I'm going to read
this. She had it, or
yeah,
he had it?
She.
Okay.
So I wanted to read it. So I was laying there reading that, sober, and just feeling like such a fucking fruity douche, just curled up in my bed trying to fall asleep. So then,
are you wearing pajamas?
Yeah,
and a sports bra.
Yeah, I was wearing sweats rolled up at the waist.
Those stupid slippers with like an animal. I'll tell you, when you hook up with a girl and she has like that still stuffed animals and crap on her bed. I've always found that it's weird. Pedophile is in the air when that shit happens.
It's weird. I kind of hate it, but I kind of think it's cute and comforting a little bit. I feel good. I'm like, all right, this chick's at least not a skank. She's not like the chick.
That's all a girl needs.
Yeah, that's it.
To convince you that she never let anybody go raw in her as a little stuffed bunny.
That's it.
I usually look at the bookshelf. I look at some of the books that they had.
Sometimes I get creeped out though if the books are too sort of intellectual or whatever, you know what I mean? It freaks me out a little bit.
No, Joe, that means she wants it in the ass.
That's what I mean. I feel like that's
too much power at work. Just push her face right near the pillow.
So,
I hooked up with a girl one time, and I was looking up, and she had one book up there. I swear to God, the name of the book was "They Said It Wasn't Rape." And I was literally waiting for the first time I touched this girl for her to just be curled up in a ball, with a purple crayon, just drawing on the sheet or something, I was just no, it made me nervous, thinking what happened to this girl, and I don't want to have some sort of rape Vietnam flashback.
Jesus Christ.
And I go to put my hand up her shirt there.
Did you ask her what the book was about?
No, you know what? I waited to the second or third time, and she was just more into she went through a woman's movement kind of phase. So then, of course, I trashed her.
Dude, I hooked up with this girl the other night, and
Was she hot?
She was pretty hot, but she had like I was taking her shirt up, and she had like a stretch mark on her stomach, and she was like, I'm kind of embarrassed. She was in her 30s, and she goes, I had a baby when I was 17, so I have some stretch marks. And I just let it go. I didn't ask any questions. I was so afraid to ask, well, what happened? Like, did you get it?
Yeah, what do you not get stretch marks when you're in your 30s and you have a baby?
Well, no, I'm saying she was just like, I had a baby when I was 17, and that was all she said. And I was so afraid to ask her, well, do you still have it? Or like, I was afraid she was gonna be like, I gave him up for adoption. Not a day goes by.
Oh.
You know.
I tried to hide the pregnancy. I had the baby in the toilet. Do you remember that story in the Post? That was me.
Yeah, dude,
It was me.
I was so fucking scared, dude. That's what it's all about for me anymore, though, is bringing out the depression in a woman when I try to fuck her.
That's when you try to take him down.
I have a new joke in my act where I say, after I fuck a girl, I want her to get up from my bed and walk directly to the window and jump out of it.
Jesus Christ, Joe. Jesus.
I want to just bring out all the pain. I want it to be very therapeutic.
What I try to get them to talk about sex. I go really hacky. I try to draw out the whore within, like their inner whore. You know what I mean? You ever try that? You basically, it's the old thing. You kind of admit, when you start talking about sexual fantasies, you just admit to something that you want to do that is just so far down the road that anything that she was actually thinking of admitting will pale in comparison.
And then she'll admit like her hoary shit.
Yeah, this is all in theory. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of like shooting a pilot, Joe. You don't know if it's going to get picked up or not. But everybody's got a good feeling about the script.
It's hard to get into the sexual discussion sometimes. Sometimes the jump is too drastic from what you're actually talking about. You're trying to work it in, and she keeps talking about recipes and shit.
That's bad.
Yeah, you're trying to ease your way into some kind of ass sex discussion, and it's fucking impossible half the time.
What's funny is I have no idea how I do it. I was just trying to think. Maybe because I've been in a fucking relationship too long.
Sometimes you pull it off, and the transition is seamless, and all of a sudden she's sitting there being like, yeah, one time I let a guy come up my ass, and then I shit it out into his mouth, and you're like, how the fuck did I get her to pull this out?
And you were just talking about politics like a sec. I remember I hooked up with this girl one time, and she'd come to my show or whatever, and for some stupid reason, I was so horny or whatever, I literally tried to make my move between the first and second show, like we're at the club, and I grabbed her ass or something in the green room, and she just looked at me like, what is wrong with you? And then my whole second set, I was just thinking, man, I blew it or whatever. But for some reason, she still wanted to go out and have a drink with me. So we ended up going out to this bar, and we're having a drink. And this girl is like giving me the not until I see a ring vibe. Coats on and all. Now, wait a minute. Well, I think this is our guest here. Lewis. All right. Yeah, hey, Danny's going to let you in, okay? All right, bye. All right, so that was sort of unprofessional.
So we could just, yeah.
No, we're not editing that out. We're going to show this is how it fucking works around here.
This is a pre-recorded show.
Considering fucking Danny didn't show up until 2 minutes before, there was no sense of urgency. But let's get back to the prude though.
But just to make the point, that's how much respect we have for the audience. That even in the pre-recorded state, go fuck yourself. We're not cutting out answering the phone.
What are we gonna do? Piss off 3 listeners? I mean, honestly, Joe. Look, I'm shutting off my cell phone here.
So anyway,
she's giving me the whole Little House on the Prairie vibe, right? And coats on and that kind of thing. And dude, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we're just talking, and it was really loud. We're kind of like this dance club or whatever. We're up at the bar, and all of a sudden, she sort of like talking like blah 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 blah. Hosted a sex party, blah blah blah, and I just went like, what? And all of a sudden, she just starts fucking talking about sex. 'Cause I wouldn't even bring it up at that point because I fucked up so bad at the club. And she starts telling me how she used to host sex parties. I'm like, what are you talking, like an orgy? She's like, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, well, where did you have? She was part of like a group. She goes, sometimes I would have them at my house, and then other times we would just rent a whole floor at a hotel, and people would just go from room to room to room. And I'm like, and you hosted this? And she's like, yeah. And I go, did you participate? She goes, yeah, kind of. And it was the most fucked up thing. I literally went from thinking, like, there's no way I'm getting laid, to I'm definitely getting laid, to I don't want to touch this girl because I'm going to get fucking AIDS or something. And somehow she still ended up coming back to my hotel room. And
did you bang her?
No, we messed around a little bit, and I didn't have a condom or anything. There was no way I was going near it. And then she said, "Have you ever heard of mutual masturbation?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that."
That's a great feeling sometimes.
Just sort of rubbed one out.
When you get the nut, when it's the chick where you're like, if I fuck this girl, I'm immediately...
Oh, yeah, I'm at a clinic.
Yeah, and I'm going to regret it.
Oh, who's kidding who? The reality is I'll be thinking I need to go to a clinic for the next 8 years until I finally meet a woman responsible enough to tell me that I need to go.
Oh, that's brutal, dude.
That's the girl I'm going to be thinking of.
Oh, that's brutal. I just did the clinic run.
I know. You just went down there.
Yeah.
How does it feel, Joe?
Feels great. I keep saying it's like the feeling you have after you go to confession. You're just like, well, that skanky shit is gone.
Yeah.
You know, like,
who was the one you were worried about with your
Jesus,
HIV test?
Dude. I had a couple doozies on that. Now, I always wear a condom. Always.
Yeah, for those people listening, Joe DeRosa is like you're like the kid from the high school film strip.
Yeah.
As far as Denny, do you realize Joe DeRosa? You told me you've never gone raw.
Never.
Ever.
Never ever in my life have I ever raw dogged a girl ever.
And how old are you?
29.
Why?
But
why not?
Because I'm terrified to catch something. I'm horrified. Danny, I have meltdowns. I fuck girls with like hefty bag condoms on. You know, and I'm like in a plutonium suit, and I'm still worried that I caught something. You know, I'm just like, it scares the shit out of me.
And he was sweating. He was actually sweating, like going down there, getting like, he's like, oh man, whew.
In my defense,
thank God. In your defense, what?
In my defense, I have fucked some brutal skanks on the road. I'm not afraid to.
Girls with those vaginas that have the ability to eat through the hefty bag.
I told you about. I fucked
hefty bag condom,
like alien blood.
Yeah. Daddy, I fucked a girl in.
He fucks Sigourney Weaver.
I fucked a girl in Florida, which right there. The word Florida and I fucked a girl. That they should never go together. Florida and Jersey are the two states we should never sleep with anybody.
Oh, dude, you got to get some stats up, Danny. I want to see like a high risk state.
Dude, Danny, I fucked a girl in Florida. She was smoking hot. She looked like Brandy, the singer, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're in my hotel room, and I'm naked on the bed. And she takes my pants off, and she's looking at my dick, and she's giving me a hand job. And her phone rings. Her cell phone rings. She literally answers the phone. She goes, "Yeah, girl. Uh-huh. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm staring at a dick." And she goes, "That's right, girl. I gotta go because I'm a suck it." And she got on the phone and blew me. And then I fucked her, and I was like, "Oh, I'm finished. Whatever she's got, it burns through latex."
Dude, you know what? That sounds like dialogue for one of those bad blaxploitation movies that end up getting protested. That was actually...
I was waiting for her to somersault, you know, and then jump up with a handgun, you know, like Foxy Brown. It was fucking... Dude, it was terrifying. Not terrifying enough for me to not fuck her.
I fucked this girl one time who was... she was such a skank and so... came across like she wasn't even like an honest person. I forget what she said, but she had some sort of criminal past. So I'm always really bad about getting them out of my hotel room. So I was literally sleeping next to her, right? And my wallet and my watch were on the little fucking nightstand on her side of the bed. And literally the whole night I was sleeping in like 7-minute intervals. And I'd be sleeping and then like the paranoia while I'm in my sleep that she's going to steal my shit. Yeah. I would literally pop up and then look at her and make sure my wallet and my watch, that's right, was across on the dresser. That was brutal.
That sucks, dude. That sucks. Oh, my God. There was another girl. I had one in Florida that used to be a stripper, and she was just skinny, which was freaking me out. She was skinny.
Too old to be that skinny.
Yeah.
She didn't have a movie premiere coming out. There was no reason.
She was doing blow the entire time. Like, she just kept stopping whatever we're doing to do lines, and then she'd be like... And she literally goes, I'm sorry my vagina's so dry. I've just done so much blow tonight.
Oh, my God, Joe. I got to tell you something, man. My dick would have tapped out, just like in the UFC right there. It just would have been like, all right, I'm out.
Dude, a hard dick has no conscience, dude. It was ready,
Dude,
ready to go.
Dry vagina and coke boogers, that's enough for me, man. In Florida.
She was hot, though. She was a stripper. I was on, I mean...
Oh, that was you needed the stripper story?
That was, yeah, exactly.
I needed the...
But I said... I got the test. I was in the clear. Everything was negative, and it had been like I had survived like the window. I hadn't fucked any girls in the, when they're like, well, if it's been 3 months, conceivably, like I had gone celibate for 3 months, and then I got the test, and I was
celibate
clean.
From what, Joe? Not banging girls with condoms every single time?
No. I'm saying I didn't fuck any girls in 3 months, and then I got the test. It was all negative, and I was like, that's it. No more fucking.
If they took an X-ray of your internal organs, I bet there's a rainbow, just right over with like butterflies, like a Mariah Carey video.
I guess so, man. I don't know. Sure.
You know what you like, Joe? You're like one of those guys in the army, like acting like you saw some action and you were actually in the back, like peeling potatoes. You're like, yeah, just like that guy who called that one time. I saw a lot of crazy shit out there, man.
Well, that's my problem. Is like I'm a real like pervert. Like I love like filthy sex, but I'm also too careful. So I would be, I'd be like the Marine with the knife in his teeth, like
You'd be the guy who wore the helmet and they actually has the chin strap on.
Yeah, I'd be on the battlefield like. Let's go kick some enemy ass. But hold on, let's make sure everything's in order for, let's do this. Let's think before we move here, people. But let's really, it's a contradiction, dude. It sucks.
That's good. No, but you have to more worry about, because obviously you still go down on girls, oral sex and all that type of thing.
I won't go down on a lot of girls. I got to kind of know a girl a little before I go down on her. And that's pretty safe.
Joe? She has a stuffed animal, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
I'm going in.
If she's got a Bert and Ernie on her bed, then that means she's clean to me. I literally go by the gauge of, well, she looks clean, which is the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
But I totally go by that. I totally go by that.
And as you can see, it works, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You're clean.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
There you go, ladies. Joe DeRosa.
That was one of the things I did last night.
Clean as a whistle.
Was when I was trying to get to sleep. I was saying I couldn't get to sleep last night, and I watched this porno.
Do you blow more money on cabs or on condoms over the course of a year? You live all the way uptown.
Condoms, you can get them for free at the clinic. They're free. I mean, do you spend money on
at the clinic? I don't even know where the clinic is.
Well, I do, Bill. And
is it like a little mobile home with the improvised wooden steps that you walk into?
It's like the bookmobile. they just come through town and make sure everybody's clean. I
didn't even know
I
they
don't
were
know.
Condoms to me. You
get them in the street. I live in Harlem. So they give out. There's always like one of those tables in the street where they give you a bag of like a dozen condoms for free.
And a little pamphlet on sickle cell.
Yeah. They'll give you like a bag of condoms for free and lube.
Oh my God, you're getting the fucking CIA condoms.
The conspiracy condoms?
Conspiracy condoms that they give to minorities that don't work. That's why they keep having all those kids.
There's a government official down in the sewer grate next to the table poking holes through the
exactly.
the condoms before he hands them.
Did you see that white guy in the raincoat with like the sunglasses?
Dude, I watched this. I got to tell you this, dude. I watched this movie last night. I could not sleep, and I watched this movie called Seduced. These were the 3 movies I watched last night. One was
you stayed up until 7 in the morning.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. So the first movie I was watching was called Seduced by Evil, and it was a Suzanne Summers movie. Suzanne Summers from
how can you go
Chrissy
wrong?
from Three's Company. Well, you hear the title and you think, oh, this is going to be softcore porn. She's going to show her tits. This is going to be awesome.
She uses the thigh master.
Yeah, and it's not. It was a fucking Lifetime movie that they were rerunning on HBO.
And what was it called?
Seduced by Evil.
Oh, God. What did the guy do?
She goes to like a shaman who puts a spell on her. And I don't know, dude. I couldn't follow it. It was, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was seeing, double.
And you're just sitting there with your dick in your hand waiting for something to jerk off.
No, I'd already masturbated twice before I turned the movie on, but I just wanted to see if I could see...
Wicked?
Suzanne... No, actually, I ran into that guy Yoshi that works for Evil Angel, and he gave me a copy of Butthole Whores, it was called, which I wasn't able to put together what the movie was about specifically. It was a little highbrow.
Serpico just showed up.
Yeah.
We were talking to a retired police officer.
In a little bit. But, dude, here's the thing. I was watching this movie, and I all I could think about the whole time, this movie was made in 1994. It was the worst fucking thing. It was like they made it was like a Danielle Steele novel turned into a movie gone wrong. It was horrible. And I'm watching it, and I remember watching the E! True Hollywood story about Three's Company, and how
Jesus, Joe, do you watch anything of quality?
She left the show. Three's Company was
watching the REO Speedwagon behind the music,
Three's
and
Company,
I just noticed
bite your tongue. Three's Company was a great fucking... Come on, man. Well, you're a little older than I. I was 5 when I watched Three's Company. How old were you? How old were you when you watched Three's Company?
I'm only 10 years
You're
older
probably
than
a solid 26, 27.
No, Three's Company, I was like 12.
No. Well, you didn't like Three's Company?
I mean, then...
Well, either way, it doesn't matter.
I liked the Sweat Hogs and that shit back then, but now when I watch Horseshack, he doesn't make me laugh anymore.
Mr. Cartier.
Oh. Yeah, somehow it just doesn't have the same effect.
That's not Horseshack. Anyway, who cares? The point is, I remember watching the E! True Hollywood story about Suzanne Somers, and she left that show because she was immensely popular on the show, and she was like... her people, her agents, they felt that she was the reason that show was so successful, and she demanded, she pulled the Brad Garrett thing where she was like, I want this much per episode or I'm fucking leaving. And they were like, hey, fucking leave then. We'll replace you with another hot blonde. We don't give a shit. And that's when Terry came in. And I'm like,
and the
Jesus
show sucked
Christ.
After that.
Yeah, and I was like, this chick was... I mean, she was there. She was like at that, position where it was like, I'm here, I'm in, I made it, I that's it, carte blanche, and then that was it, dude. What did she do after that? It was
like that chick Rhoda. Didn't she do the same shit? Valerie
Harper. Yeah, she left the Hogan family.
Yeah,
it was called the Valerie Harper Show, whatever. And she left, and they went, hey, go fuck yourself. We'll change you to the Hogan family.
Yeah, and I just wrote it in that she died.
She died. And then everybody felt sorry for the family, like it was a real family, like she really died, and they kept watching it.
But I can see someone like Suzanne Somers doing that because she was still hot. But you don't wait till you're 50. Especially as a female, I mean that's how it is. You gotta be fuckable. Dude, we got to get back to these stats here, Joe. Just to let you know, when you're on the road, if anybody's planning a road trip, we got to let you know which states you definitely want to bag it in.
Oh, we got it?
Yeah, I downloaded some government report which gives you the rate of all the different STDs per 100,000.
Okay.
So, Florida...
Wait, Joe, you want to take a guess? You want to take a guess?
Real quick, though, how far into this government report are we going to get before Billy starts conspiracizing on how it's a mind wash and how they're trying to fuck us out of something?
Well,
this is their blueprint.
This is
who they want to attack, Joe.
05. All right, so Florida... what am I guessing here? The percentage of people that have AIDS in Florida?
No, the number of positive cases of gonorrhea per 100,000.
What's the number one state you don't want to bang in, Joe? What are you going to go with?
I'm going with Florida.
Going with Florida? I'm going with Georgia.
Well, you're looking at the fucking map, Bill.
I can't see it from here.
Well, we're all going to be fucked because we have to actually name these states because the name isn't over the state.
Oh, Jesus
Christ. Danny, no, we're not fucked. I know what the states are.
If you point to one over here, I'm not going to know.
You don't know what they are?
I have no clue.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
He's a fucking moron.
No, he's not. I don't know what they are either. I couldn't tell you what half of those states were.
You don't know what the states are, Joe? You go on the road. You don't look at a map where I'm going?
No, I don't, you fucking nerd.
Dude, you know something? I know where you're going with this, but that's not nerdy to...
So wait a second. I'm a moron, but you guys are having a spelling bee later?
I know. No, I can see not knowing how to spell, but no, actually, you know what? You're right, because I use words all the time that I don't even know how to fucking spell to try to impress people. So, all right, so you guys are right. Wait, I'm just not a moron in this.
So I'm betting Florida. I know, and I can pick out Florida on a map without it being labeled. So
Jesus, Joe, wow. You can pick that one out? How about New York? Can you pick that one out, too?
I'm proud of that. New York, maybe.
Louis.
I don't think you can hear
let him know we're going to be, because he's looking really depressed out there. Let him know we're going to get him in
here.
I told him. Okay, all right. So...
No, Florida is not the most infected state with gonorrhea.
How do you know, Danny? You don't even know what the fuck.
Well, because I know Florida's right there. Whatever that state is.
Can I do? I just saw where you pointed.
What is it?
It's towards the east.
No, it isn't.
It isn't?
Point to that. I want to see if you know what state that is. Go ahead. Point to. Danny doesn't know. Go ahead. Point to the state. What state is that?
That one.
What is it?
That one is.
He has a college degree. Unbelievable.
That one is. That's Alabama.
No, it's Mississippi. You fuck.
Mississippi
idiot.
is the highest.
Forget that it's the highest.
Alabama's right next to it. Don't act like that's that way off. Alabama's right next to Mississippi.
Wow.
Alabama touches Florida.
Wow. Dude, that is some Bobby Kelly shit.
You just pointed. Did you just not point to the second state from the right? That one. Which one he pointed? Oh, the third.
You.
The third
You're
one
not
over.
getting out of that. You're not getting out of it. You're full of shit. Because not only that, if you thought he was just pointing Alabama, you would have gone to Alabama. But you were like, that one is wow. I remember a long time ago, Bobby Kelly, his booker called him up and said, yeah, I got you a college in Wisconsin. He goes, awesome. What state is that in?
I could just hear him. Dude, what state is that in?
Dude, you're right there with him, though.
Oh, gosh. That's hilarious.
Mississippi. Now,
Who would have thought Mississippi?
dude, first of all, who would go to Mississippi? So I'm feeling really good about my chances of not getting gonorrhea
Yeah.
at any point in my lifetime.
That's absolutely true. I got so called to on another dumb thing the other night. I was talking to Russ Beneve
About what?
and two of his friends. I don't
Russ
even
Beneve,
remember.
another comedian.
Yeah.
Got a whole chunk on rape.
Yeah.
Hilarious comedian.
His crowd work. I was laughing the other night because he does a joke about suicide, and he goes, "So is anybody else suicidal like me?" And that's like crowd work in Russ's head. Yeah, but I go,
Suicidal? Come on, people,
Yeah.
back me up.
he cracked on me about something. I go, you really? I go, why? Because I'm not a disturbed sycophant like you. And he goes, do you even know what sycophant means? And I was like, no, I actually don't. He just called me on in front of a whole group of people, and we just started laughing. He's going, how fucking embarrassing that you just got called on it, you fucking idiot, you know.
Well, you're thinking, I got sick in there.
Yeah,
I got
fan. Exactly.
Sycophant. It sounds like psychopathic. Dude, we've been shooting this shit here for almost a half an hour. I think we got to take a break here. And that's it.
Next up, we're gonna hit you with a greatest hit, bitch! Here comes the first motherfucking discussion from the very first motherfucking episode. Ah, shit. It seems like just yesterday these two motherfuckers started doing this motherfucking program. Well, fuck it. Here it is, the Navy discussion. Uninformed.
I did a show the other night at a club in New York, and I was talking in my set. I told a joke about a story, actually, about when I had gotten into a fight with some guys in the Navy. And I said 3 times to the story, I go, I support the troops, I really do, but these guys were dicks, so I got into a big argument with them. And there were 2 people from the Navy in the front row.
Jesus, Joe, you're yelling at retards and the troops?
Well, that kid wasn't retarded. He was a fucking
kick
dick.
a puppy at the end of your last gig?
So I kept saying I support the troops, but there was these 2 people in the front in the Navy, and I said, hey, you guys are in the Navy too? I think that's great. And then I started to talk about how I don't really vote, and I kind of don't get into politics and everything. So after the show, I'm in...
What percentage of people do vote, Joe?
I'm going to go with 15%.
Okay. See, dude, you're still picking round numbers.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But after the show, in the lobby, the chick that was in the front row from the Navy comes up to me and starts screaming at me, you're a fucking jackass. You don't get it. I put my fucking ass on the line for you. This chick's like 50, by the way. And I'm like, are you even in the Navy? Well, not anymore, but I was, and I put my fucking ass... And I go, lady, let me just say this. If you're going to make a statement, make it an intelligent statement. You don't know what you're saying right now. And she's yelling at me, and finally I go, lady, you know what? Fuck you. You're a fucking moron, right? And her husband now gets in my
Was
face.
she still in uniform, Joe?
No, she was in regular cunt clothes. And then her husband
Those
gets...
people that listen to here, you got to know about Joe. When Joe has these meltdowns, he usually does it in front of like somebody like he'll yell at like one of those Salvation Army people with like the bell. It's like when Joe has like a meltdown, he's always like in front of a church.
Yeah, I don't really ever strike out against any real cause or legitimate effort or anything. It's always, a homeless man. One time I tried to beat up a homeless man because he insulted Billy in the street, and I tried to fight him.
Oh, dude, I remember. Yeah, this guy, Danny. This guy. How old was he?
He's probably 65 years old. Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, that 58 to 65, a baby boomer who just never happened for him, you know? This fucking guy, I don't know what happened. He started giving us shit or whatever, so I gave him a little bit of shit back. We were kind of drunk or whatever. So the guy comes down the street. It was me, Joe, we were 2 girls. There was like 5 of us in this group. This 58-year-old black dude comes running down the street. He starts doing almost like this... I saw a karate movie in 1972 stance.
Yeah.
Going, come on, man, come on. I kept saying he looked like Marvin Gaye because he had this beard. So I kept singing, what's going on, as he's doing this shit. But Joe gets in his face like he's in an action movie. Like, you want to go? Let's fucking go.
Dude, he was fucking with you. Fuck him.
And then you strutted away like you just went at it with some guy.
I felt good.
Yeah, like you
I
was
felt
from
good.
Gold's Gym.
Give me, in my defense, we played beer pong in that bar for a good hour.
That's what he was. He had big, sad Marvin Gaye brown eyes.
He was a dick. But you know what's funny?
He was homeless, Joe.
Here's the commentary of the 2 stories. You sung What's Going On to the Marvin Gaye guy. This military lady, I'm fighting with her. She won't listen to me. And she starts going, you ought to protect your goddamn country. So I just started singing America the Beautiful. I was just like, America, America.
You know here's a pet peeve of mine. I hate when people in the Navy say you're protecting our country. You're not. Okay? Who the fuck has a Navy out there? Didn't we destroy all navies after World War II?
Didn't we have that problem with those 8 pirates in the rowboat
off the coast of Africa? Yeah, you got to wait for 7 Zimbabwe's with the outboard motor.
Yeah, there was that thing happened the one time.
Like, seriously, dude, if you were going to war, okay, say if you're gonna go into politics, so you needed it on your record that you didn't pussy out during wartime, and you wanted to go into service, the fucking Navy's the way to go.
Yeah, Navy.
Just sit off the coast.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, you sit in a little hubby, you eat some chowder.
Yeah, exactly.
On your boat.
Exactly. I'll tell you, the only guys who get off easier are the guys with, like, in the Air Force with, like, the orange sticks that, like, guide the plane in, or maybe, like, the guy who sticks the blocks under the wheels.
I don't even want to be the guy with the sticks. I want to be the guy making the sticks. Fuck that. I don't even want to be out on the aircraft.
You drill the hole for the rope that they stick in there. So then one day you can flip out at a comedy club. I'm fucking protecting your ass.
Exactly.
Everybody acts like they're on the front line. I bet Navy SEALs and those guys fucking hate that shit. Everybody walking
Jesus
around.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Some guy that just had to slit some mercenary's throat.
Yeah, some guy in the Navy sunning himself in the Persian Gulf on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Yeah. Don't you love that?
Some other guys in fucking Fallujah.
Yeah. Navy SEAL Johnson, we need you to infiltrate the desert and take out this czar. Miller, go guide this plane in. But you're both protecting the country.
Point in the direction that the plane's taking off. You ever seen that guy? You just got to take like a yoga class so you can bend down far enough so you don't get sucked into the fucking jet engine. That's right. Here on Uninformed, if you're listening to this shit and you're in the Navy, we're saying, unless you're a Navy SEAL, go fuck yourself. You're not protecting us. All right? You're on a ship. You're on a cruise that's 4 years long.
What percentage? Now, honestly, not like
I'm just trying to get some callers here.
Not our fake percentage. Honestly, what real percentage would you estimate of people in the military actually put their ass on the line, like are actually in the fucking fire?
18.
That's 18%. About 18.
Yeah, if you got like you got a couple guys. What do we got? Like 7 jets over there, 7 to 10, right? No, we do. Dude, I saw it on Wikipedia. We got like, if you're just tuning in, all this shit's backed up. We got encyclopedias right in front of us. We got like 11 jets over there, right?
All right.
That's a good number, Joe, if you're going to guess later on. I don't know. Yeah, it's the fucking guys, you're on point, that Vietnam shit. All right, if you're in some computer guy, you ever see this shit like they try to suck you into getting in the military and they show the guy sitting in the control room in the laptop? I mean, that's basically...
I've actually gotten upset with my dad.
You're in a cubicle in the middle of a war.
I've gotten upset with my dad because he's in Vietnam, or he was in Vietnam, and I've actually gotten annoyed with him because he has no good stories because he worked in the fucking file room.
Exactly.
And it's like, I remember being a kid and be like, Dad, tell me a story about the war. And he was like, hey,
My dad was in the Navy.
Papers.
My dad was in the Navy. He was in the medical corps, and they didn't even ship him to Vietnam. They shipped him to Chelsea Naval Hospital in Massachusetts. And he had some incredible stories about wounds, but it's not like they were going, medic! And he was, serpentining. Yeah, if there's any veterans out there that want to call up and, actually seen some action, and do you get, like, annoyed with other people who start strutting around like, they had some incoming when they're really just,
It's true, because
peeling fucking potatoes? What, do these lights mean that there's calls coming in?
Yeah, we got calls. Actually, let's go to Ken in Massachusetts.
Okay.
His son is in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Ken, what you got?
Okay, you're telling me that the Navy doesn't play a role in the Army.
That's what I'm saying, sir. I'm saying it's a tugboat with a gun on the front.
Except Navy SEALs, Ken. Except Navy SEAls.
Okay. I don't know. My son was in the Navy, and he was on the USS Kennedy in Afghanistan.
Can you prove that?
Can I prove it?
Yeah.
He
This
can
sounds
prove
like
it.
this is like off the top of your head, you know? You got
No, it's not off
any
the top of my
statistics?
head. But anyway, he got...
You don't have to get angry, okay? You can just present. This is a very wide open forum, so I don't need anger.
Okay. They shot and they fired guns, and they got 9 out of 10 major...
What's this, paintball?
Major attack points.
Major what points?
Yeah, dude, you're talking shop here.
Major target points.
But what were the major... What do you mean by... They had 10 major target points?
This is right after 9/11. He was shipped out to Afghanistan on a JFK.
Uh-huh.
And they were ordered to fire.
Can you get to Afghanistan by a boat? I thought it's surrounded by land.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Ken. It's like, how in danger are the boats wherever they are near Afghanistan
if I had a
versus
kid,
the Army and the Marines? They're actually in the desert getting bombed in their bunkers and all that shit.
Yeah, well, they do play an important role, though.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's my problem.
Yeah, they do. They bring over the guys who are going to get shot at.
Every time somebody says they're in the military...
Dude, you got to admit, man, if you're going to be in there, I'd rather be on a fucking destroyer.
Okay,
I have not seen any good Navy... Listen, sir. Sir, you're very hostile.
I'm not hostile.
Okay, well,
Ken,
you're very
I'm hyper, but I'm not hostile.
Ken, listen.
Okay.
You don't have to be proud just because your kid was in there. My dad was in the Army, and I'm not proud of him. He's got no good stories. His best story was that he saw the post office get blown up. That was the best thing he had to tell me. That's a shitty story. Not every guy propelled down a rope from the helicopter with a backpack on.
He got a Purple Heart. He cut his thumb peeling potatoes.
Thanks for the call, Ken.
Alrighty.
All right, man. See, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You figure, I thought I was really getting nervous here. Like, this has to be, let me tell you something, you sons of bitches. He was just like, they had some ballistic...
Yeah, can we make a rule?
Apparati.
I thought he was going to...
I want to hear somebody hardcore, who got into this shit over there. Do you get fucking annoyed by people who are trying to pretend like you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like when I worked in a warehouse, Joe. This is exactly like going to war. I'd be like unloading the truck. I'd be unloading the trucks. No, there's a point here. The
ignorance, the level of ignorance already is astounding. I can't.
Yeah, but we're protected by the name. You're uninformed. You can't get mad at this shit. Okay? Look, Joe, I have to go with what I know. Okay?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right now. I know warehousing, okay? With this goddamn internet, okay, it's going to end it. Okay, because all boxes are going to become digitized. In fact, at least 43% of them at this point are digitized. It's not even matter. They just, it's like Star Trek now. So, and if anybody wants to dispute that, I got the fucking facts in front of me. Anybody in warehousing that wants to fucking call this show up, okay, I will bury you with the shit that I can come up with about warehousing. This is my point. I hated when we went to the this is just like war. When I was working in the warehouse, and the company picnic would come along, and all these suits would put on their fucking T-shirts and their, it's Friday dress down wear, like they weren't making $100,000 a year, and they try to act like grunts and like they were unloading trucks.
I hear you. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Dude, I'm telling you, with the warehouse door open, the neighborhood that I was in, it was potential that you could get shot. So,
dude, it was the same thing.
Just like war.
It was the same thing when I worked for the Senate in Texas. and the senators, I
They have a
remember.
Senate in Texas?
Yeah, the Senate's, believe it or not, the senators would have these like parties. You know,
Did they know you were half Egyptian, Joe?
They didn't.
You kept that low key down there.
It was weird. Their nostrils would flare up a bit when I was around them.
Joe, did you mess with Texas?
But the whole thing was, the senators would have these parties, and they'd have like some kind of bluegrass band at their party, and the senator would come in boots and jeans, and they'd have a keg, and it'd be like, get some gumbo, son. I'm just one of y'all. And it's like, no, you're not. You're a fucking millionaire that lives in a mansion somewhere. I'm working for $22,000 a year in this shithole.
Dude, that is so much like fucking war. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
See, so we know.
That's my point.
Yeah, we know
That's
what
my
we're
point.
saying. What percentage of people are going to die of heart disease in Texas?
Not enough. You
didn't have a good time down there, Joe?
Not particularly. I'm not knocking.
You don't look like a line dancer, Joe.
You know what? Here's what I didn't like. I lived in Austin. I was ready for shit-kicking, hoo-ha, Texas, and Austin is just the most liberal, bleeding heart, pretentious cunt city on
hilarious.
The fucking map, dude.
That's like when I moved from Boston down to North Carolina, and I moved down there, and I thought I was going to be the cool kid. I thought I was going to be like Footloose.
Yeah.
Like they were all going to be like 20 years behind us. And I got down there, dude. They were doing more fucking drugs. It was, they listened to the same music.
Dude, it was so annoying.
Dancing wasn't outlawed.
It was so annoying. I was ready for, like, bar fights and beer brawls and shit, and then you get there and it's like, have you seen the new extended version of Nosferatu? Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, you should have gone to the Houston area. Once you get past the sea of fatness that is Houston. They were actually voted the fattest city.
I was afraid to go to Houston because the Ghetto Boys were from there, and it always sounded like a really, like, dangerous place.
What, because of one rap group, Joe? You live in New York City.
They were pretty
rappers
intense.
Are here? You know
Ghetto
Jay-Z's
Boys
from here?
Yeah,
50 Cent, all those Hot 97, the lobby of Hot 97.
The Ghetto Boys used to have songs about fucking dead bodies. So I think that crosses a certain line.
Yeah, it goes into, like, gay. That's almost like death metal. Like, we're sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm old.
It's kind of annoying. You are old, but it's, whatever. Who cares? What are you going to do? We had another caller on this military thing?
Oh, yeah. Let's try to stay on topic here.
Sure. Let's check out.
I want to hear somebody from the military that either defends the Navy
or... too, if anybody wants to call from Austin, Texas, and try to defend that, I would love to.
That's great, Joe. Let's try to have 9 different topics going on as people call in.
Not right this minute, just at some point.
Well, let's go to Trevor in Wyoming.
Okay.
Trevor.
Hello. Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, hello. Hey,
Hi.
I just got out of the Marines, and I just want to say that there's a lot of Army and a lot of Marines over there in Iraq that really don't do shit either. You know, like they go over there.
Let me ask you a question, Trevor. Did you do anything over there? Like when Charlie Sheen makes the Iraq movie, is he going to play you?
Probably not so much, but
Emilio.
Infantry, anyways. Infantry. I didn't sit behind a desk, that's for sure.
Now let me ask you this: do you get fucking annoyed by the guys who sit behind the desk? Do you think they should have a lesser uniform than you? Like maybe they shouldn't have combat boots. Maybe they should have like camouflage, like loafers, or something something of that effect.
It's disgusting that they get paid the same amount of money that I do when I go out and I get shot at, and they sit on base all day. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, dude, I worked in a warehouse, man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They wear the same ribbons. They get the same awards. You know, like to a civilian or to a regular person, you look at 2 Marines or 2 soldiers, and you don't know the difference.
Well, let me ask you this: have you ever caught one of those people behind the desk trying to act like they have some street cred over there, like almost like the whole rap thing, like trying to act hard and they actually grew up in the suburbs?
Oh yeah, dude, all the time. Like.
Do you call them out on it?
Like, oh yeah, or like you'll be in a bar and you'll catch some fag talking about how he thinks he's got post-traumatic stress because he saw a dead body or something. You know, and you're kind of it's pretty weak, man.
Because he downloaded his Faces of Death in his cubicle.
Hilarious. Trevor.
Yeah, exactly.
Trevor, so I've always been dumbfounded by this. If everybody gets the same pay and one group has a shittier job and is in more danger than the other group, then why volunteer to go infantry? Or why, you know what I mean? Why not try to go desk job type of thing and still get all the benefits of the military, but not being shot at and all that stuff, you know?
Well, because that's for pussies, man. Like, who joins the Marine Corps to sit behind a desk?
I like you.
Hey,
Trevor.
is that
the reason why the people I know, and I don't want to say me, but the reason why they join is so they can go kill somebody or so they can go blow some shit up. Not sit behind a fucking desk and...
Dude, why don't they have you in the commercial? Yeah. You know what they should have? They should have the first half of the commercial where they teach people computers and all that stuff, and then you just bust in the middle of it with a fucking, like, AK just going, that's for pussies.
Yeah, Trevor.
Navy's for pussies.
Trevor, if you would have called me when I was in high school, they would have had me. Because the guy that called me just went, I hear you play the drums, Joe. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, how'd you like to play them for your country? And I was like, I really wouldn't, actually. If you would have called me and be like, dude, you want to go blow some fucker's face off? I'd be like, yeah, that's...
You ever see that movie Uncommon Valor? It's just like that. There's going to be 50 of them and one of you, and you're not going to die. Well, listen, man, I got to tell you, I got nothing but respect for anybody who's over there. Christ, I mean, even if I was over there not seeing action, the fucking sunburn that I would get. But I'm just saying, man, the fact that you guys ought to get a little more money. But that's fun. That's funny. People fake it like they've been like maybe seen some action, like the 40-year-old virgin.
Right.
And he tries to act like he got laid, and he's talking about touching titties. Like, yeah, it's just it's like a bag of sand.
Well, the Wigger analogy you brought up.
Hey, easy there, Kramer. That's easy. Okay, we don't need Jamie Masada with the fucking Laugh Factory logo behind him. Badi, listen.
That's a perfect analogy.
Trevor, thanks for calling.
Thank you, Trevor. That's a perfect analogy. Like, it really is. Like,
dude, all my analogies are right on the fucking money. 90% of them.
90%. 75. Just out of curiosity, did we piss off anybody in Texas at all?
No.
All right.
Nobody.
Well, they think they all agree then.
You want more Navy stuff? Because there's Steve in Long Island.
Yeah,
he actually agrees with you guys.
All right.
Steve.
Yo, yeah. You know, the actual amount of people actually see action over there is probably like 5%. You know what?
I like this guy. He's using percentages.
1%.
1%. It's that low?
That low. I was over there in Afghanistan, and it was hot. And that was about, and I made sure the UN didn't get in our way.
Let me ask you, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Listen to me, are you back? No, I'm calling from a fucking cell phone in Afghanistan. I'm really an idiot.
Yeah.
All right, when you go out to bars and try to get pussy, do you try to pretend like you saw
every single time?
You try to pretend like you saw action.
Every single time.
Okay, can you do the voice? Can you do the voice
I've seen things, man. I've seen things.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Hold on, I'll be the chick. Let's role play it. Ready? Right. So I'm just standing at the bar, all right, and you're approaching me. So go ahead.
Hey, sweetie, what's going on? I was in Afghanistan.
Hey, yeah. What was that like?
The depth over there, it's awful.
Oh, my pussy's so wet.
Joe, that was the worst impression of anything. You sound like you were bombing an audition to be the next Muppet on Sesame Street. I don't know, it's a sock puppet with a high voice. That's amazing. I just made my voice go a little higher. There's no depth to this character whatsoever. Joe DeRosa, see?
On the spot.
Joe DeRosa.
I give you what I got.
Steve, did you get laid, though?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
That's
works.
awesome, dude.
It works, just the uniform.
Do you practice in the mirror to get that fucking 200-yard stare?
You know, it works every time when you shake your head when you're giving the lines too. Like you got something else going on in the back of your head.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Oh, that's good, man.
Would you be offended if I tried that later on tonight?
You know what? I'd be offended if you didn't.
Okay, I got a green jacket. I might throw that on a little bit later. Just
Steve, come to the after party tonight after the show.
You got it.
Yeah, it's going to be at where are we having it?
Yes, the Subway. No, it's going to be hot, man. There's going to be a DJ.
We're going to go to Playwrights Tavern after the show on 49th Street between 7th and Broadway for our little after party. So if you feel like driving out, we'll be there drinking quite a bit.
I'll be there.
Plenty of seats, people.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the call. All right, well, we'll take one more. Do we have anybody who's in the Navy who's like pissed and saying,
yeah, is there anybody that doesn't?
My mop is defending your freedom?
You know what the funny thing is? No. I mean, everybody's saying, yeah, you guys are right. I was in the Navy.
Jesus Christ.
Let's talk to Cody. Cody in Austin.
We can't
What's
even
up, man?
Oh, Cody in Austin. Here we go. We'll get a double shot here.
I was actually a nuclear engineer in the Navy, biggest fucking nerd job in the world, and I lived in Austin for like 10 years, so I can back you up on both fronts.
Yeah,
but
there we go, Cody.
You, man,
nice.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, the worst part, though, is not the assholes that you run into in bars and shit in the civilian world. The worst part is when you're actually in the Navy and you're fucking working in a shop with a guy. like he's like in charge of you, watch their supervisor or whatever, and he's like that because when he thinks he's all fucking gung ho because he's throwing some chemicals in beakers and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
right.
he makes your life fucking hell because he wants you to feel like you're out there shooting people and stuff. You know what I mean?
You're basically saying that, like, this last guy was saying that maybe 1-2% of people actually see action, but you see people in the armed services every night, you know, saying that I'm defending your country and blah blah. I guess they're speaking for that 1%. I understand it, but I think there ought to be like a teleprompter underneath, like technically this person has never been shot at since his older brother bought a BB gun when he was 8 years old.
And that guy giving you shit, like your lab supervisor guy, that's some fucking pussy that's taking all in his insecurity shit out on you. You know what I mean? Like, he's fucking feeling shit for not being out there.
School wants to grow up to be a cop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The guy that most shit growing up is the first one who wants to join the fucking police academy because then he'll have the power.
Right.
The guys that suck are the ones that stay in the military for fucking ever and rely on that crutch of coolness. Because now every time they go to a bar, people are buying them drinks and shit. Man, I saw some Navy guys in a bar 3 nights ago, and they were talking all this shit about Iraq and all that. And you know, I kind of like to bait them a little bit. So
right.
Did they know that you? Did they know that you were in the service? Or no?
No. I don't even tell them. I just you know, talk to him. Oh, that's really cool, man. Yeah. And then towards the end of the conversation, I pointed his arm and yeah, those 2 little feathers mean you're a fucking secretary. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
We should get you and the last guy to fight somewhere later.
I'm all for it, man.
Well, that's what sparked this whole thing, is because that chick in the Navy screaming at me, and she's like 50, and I go, lady, are you in the Navy? And she's like, well, not anymore, but I was. It's like,
when she was in the Navy, her job was to blow an admiral.
Here we go! Another classic from episode 1. Episode 1. Ha ha! I like that shit. That sounds like some Star Wars shit. Anyway, sit back and check it. The game show, ho!
The reason that Nia is here is
why am I here?
We're going to do a game show of sorts right now. Basically, what it was is it's always funny to watch politicians when they're running for a certain office try to sort of politically correct their way through a tough question to answer something.
They never answer the question.
Tactfully. They never answer the question. They never answer the question truthfully, that's for certain. So we were thinking we should do a game show where we get random, really hard questions thrown at us being Bill and Greer and myself, and the goal is you have to answer these questions truthfully, but without losing any votes. That's the trick. The second we smell bullshit, you get buzzed by the other players. And the second you spin it too hard into something else, you get buzzed. But also, if you're too brutally honest, you get buzzed too. So we understand the rules.
Because we're basically sitting around going, these fucking politicians, they never answer questions. And then we're like, well, if you actually answered them honestly, you'd lose votes. And then we started talking shit, going, I could fucking do that. So now we're going to see.
All right. So here's how it works.
Do it. Go ahead.
Nia's going to ask the question. She's going to pull them randomly out of that. Some of them are easier than others, right? Mm-hmm. We'll go in order. Billy will get asked a question first. While he's answering his question, Nia, myself, and you, Greer, will act as the judges.
Okay.
When it's my turn,
how many points
you, Billy,
do you
Nia, judge, and so on.
This feels like when the electricity goes out and you're like, fuck, we got to play a board game here.
We'll give one point per question. Fuck it, and you got like 17 seconds to answer it. All right.
Wow.
So.
No, we're very accurate. We do a lot of research here.
Okay. So here we are. This is Who Wants to Be a Politician? All right.
It feels like college radio. Fuck that. We did a great job for 2 hours and 40 minutes. There's going to be some shit.
This is where the show might jump the shark, but maybe not. I don't know. This might be funny. All right.
All right, Nia, let's...
With our host, Nia.
All right, so the first question.
For who?
For you, Bill Burr.
Okay.
Do Jews run the media?
Oh, wow. You hit me fucking hard right off the bat. Well, I would definitely say that there are a lot of Jews in the media, but to suggest that they're all working as one is a little too, I don't know. There's a lot of them. But no, I'd say that they don't. Why? I didn't say anything anti-Semitic.
You backpedaled at the end.
But there's a bunch of Irish guys who are cops. You know what I'm saying? Everybody picks something that they run.
Well, you know what? You should have said that as your answer, and you would have gotten a point.
Really? You know what? You should stop being so
Is this
smug.
time up? Is
Shut
this
up.
time up
You gotta
already?
stop being so smug, like you're fucking up by 50 points.
His time's
Wait a second, though. Where's the timer, though?
I'm holding it right
all
here.
right, all right.
Holding the
so
timer.
you kind of included that last part.
Question. We gotta keep it going.
All right, next question.
Uh-oh. Who's this one for?
For Greer.
Okay.
For Greer Barnes.
Greer Barnes.
Greer Barnes trying to get elected.
Are Asian people rude?
I wouldn't say that Asian people are rude.
This is over.
No, I'm just saying.
You just lost Chinatown.
It's just really, honestly, hard to understand them at times.
And that explains.
And that explains why.
That's rude. That's rude,
Not
right?
rude. They speak loud because there's a lot of them. So, yeah, and they're all talking,
what?
so they
It's
have
getting
to.
worse and worse.
I don't, because they always go like that when they talk. That's all I'm saying.
Neither one of us is getting. All right, Joe, you're the fucking big shot.
It's 17 seconds and up. When I went that was 17 seconds.
Oh, yeah, and it's horrendous. Do you have a buzzer sound over there, Danny, so we don't have to listen to Joe's version of a woman coughing? All right, what do you got for Joe?
All right, for Joe DeRosa. Sweatshops. Do you care? They're so far away, aren't they?
They are very far away. I think it is definitely an unjust policy that's going on over there, and I don't think that it should be happening. But then again, we all need sneakers, so
Dude, you had it right there. You had it. You should have bailed right there.
Where are the places where there are sweatshops? The Philippines?
There you go.
Taiwan? Well,
I don't know. As long as Foot Locker's full, I'm cool.
Oh,
I almost had a point. I did blow it. That sucks. All right.
Here's a good one for you, Bill.
Okay, I can do this.
Are women funny?
All right, go ahead. Next one.
All right, Greer, you're up.
That was brilliant.
All right.
You get a point for that, right?
Greer.
Yes. Oh, man.
Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal? They were here first, right?
I'm going to have to say no, they weren't here first. They weren't called Mexicans then.
Wow. There goes and Tex-Mex, all that shit's gone.
Let them go. and you let them go. Go back across the border.
Jeez,
Greer, what
would
are you
you
running
buzz
for?
him? Jesus Christ.
Danny, you're falling asleep at the wheel here.
How far's he got to go before he gets disqualified?
All right.
All right, Joe.
Yes.
Why do black guys have to be so loud?
I don't know, but
You
it's
should be asking the black man that.
it's kind of annoying. It's nothing against black guys themselves, but they are loud and they do yell a lot. It's kind of
Yeah. Thank you. Not good.
I don't be yelling.
Okay.
All right, Bill.
Yep.
At what age does someone become useless, and what should we do about it?
I would say 86 if you can't drive. And come on, dude. I mean, I can't even get halfway through it. Who votes after 86?
just to keep score. No points. Nobody has any points right now.
You got it. You had half a point. All right, this is the last round here.
Oh, Jesus
All right, Greer.
Christ, man.
Do you support the troops?
Absolutely. I just don't support the war.
Oh, dude, you
Perfect.
there you go. Okay.
No, that was
Very
perfect.
Good. All right.
1 point for Greer.
1 point for
It's
Greer.
gonna be a black president. Come on, Joe. Step
Okay,
it up.
Joe. Gay marriage, yay or nay?
Yay. Of
Yay.
course, I
Can
think
you
it
buzz
makes
him
more
just to
sense.
say yay? You fucking fag. Yay.
It was written in the question, though. It says yay or nay.
And Joe wrote the fucking questions.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Are we still doing this? 'Cause
Let's
this
do
really-
one more quick
one
round, and then
more?
we'll go
All
to
right.
the
All
porn
right.
stuff.
Bill, didn't we do more with this land than the Indians ever would have?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're getting shit-faced out on the fucking reservation, so... I mean... What, you guys don't want honesty in your politicians? Okay? I'm Bill Burr. I say how it is. I say how it is. And if you can't handle the truth, then I'm not the one that you want to have as your
can't believe
senator.
you led that off with, yeah, absolutely. You fucking smug prick. Yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, brilliant.
All right.
All right, so...
One more for Greer, one more for me, and we're
Okay.
done.
Oh, all right.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I thought we were stopping
Joe, you
after this
have
one.
to win.
All right, Greer.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Is it time for a female president?
Absolutely.
This motherfucker gets all the easy fucking questions.
Oh, yeah, why not? I mean,
You're answering honestly,
absolutely.
though?
Absolutely.
He's answering easily.
No, I'm answering honestly. Why not?
I believe him.
Seriously.
I believe him.
No, he's sincere.
Greer, are you currently in a relationship?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Next question.
You don't want a female president.
I believe
his fucking Watergate right there.
Just for the... Dude,
my relationship has nothing to do with how I feel.
No, we're running out of time. We have to get to bad porno.
just for the warmth that he said honestly with. Okay.
All right. So, Joe, you think two guys making out is disgusting, don't you?
I absolutely do not. I think it's a beautiful thing, and two men should be able to love each other instead of being...
Dude, you just lost all the red states. You lost all the fucking red states. Greer Barnes with 2 points.
Greer Barnes wins.
All right. We'll be right back with some choice cuts from the motherfucking Uninformed mixtape, bitch! Uninformed! Hey, y'all! Welcome back, everybody, to the Uninformed mixtape. This episode was pre-recorded like 2 fucking weeks ago. And why was this show pre-recorded? Because Bill and Joe got shit to do, you dumb skank! Anyways, you hoes probably already know Bill and Joe always like to welcome a guest on the show to help school their asses with some goddamn knowledge. And this motherfucking episode is no motherfucking exception. Uninformed.
All right, so we're back here. Fucking
What was
chair
that?
Chair collapsed a little bit. I got a little too comfortable, Joe.
All right.
So we're back here, second hour of Uninformed, and this is the hour where me and dumbass Joe DeRosa, who doesn't know where the state of Mississippi is, try to actually become informed on something. I recently got stopped for to get a ticket or whatever. I was driving on the road. And I just want to have there's just a bunch of stuff going on, like with police officers lately. So we just want to actually have an actual police officer in here who was on the job, I don't know how many fucking years, because this is Uninformed, and I never even bothered to ask. But we got Lou from the comedy club down the street, which will remain nameless because some of the information we might get from this guy. Lou, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you?
How are you?
Great.
You're looking fantastic.
Thank you. You too.
How long were you on the force for?
I did my 20 years.
You did your 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
You had a good time?
I had a great time.
Where did you? Where were you a police officer?
Primarily, I was a police officer in Queens, but when I got promoted to sergeant, I did the rest of my time in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh yeah. When cops, did you ever watch like Fort Apache, The Bronx, and just be like, "This is bullshit," like this never happened? Like when you watch cop movies, are you like, "These are ridiculous"? It wouldn't go down like that.
No, not really, because some of them are well researched. It's just they squeeze everything together in 2 hours or an hour segment, and that's the only thing that I really find really ridiculous about certain things. Just too much squeezed into a 2-hour movie or a 1-hour television program.
Just combining the things. How about the way they handle their guns?
The cops in movie depictions or television depictions always appear to be expert marksmen when we know that's not true.
What is some of the craziest stuff that you saw in 20 years of being out there?
I've seen a person's arm twisted around so many times in the handcuffs that looked like he had 2 left arms. On drugs, not feeling it, just twisted around so many times at the shoulder, and like cops will run into the lounge in the precinct or run out. You got to see this. And then you're looking, well, what am I looking at? You're looking at 2 left hands. The arm is twisted around so much.
So what, the guy's so high he's trying to get out of the handcuffs?
Or he scuffled with the police or got in a fight and they just twisted his arm around and he doesn't even know that his arm has been twisted around, at the shoulder. I always thought that was pretty strange. And also a woman who was
yeah, strange would be a good word. That's sort of odd.
A woman who was...
A woman who was what?
She was lactating. And she was under arrest. She took out her breast and she squirted mother's milk at the lieutenant behind the desk. That's pretty odd. No one ever sees that. She actually was able to...
Did you see it starting to happen and you dove over like, no?
I let it. I didn't even... I wanted to see it. No one liked the lieutenant anyway. And he got squirted with mother's milk, which is, And, people find these stories really unbelievable. But there's always 19 cops standing right there, and most of them are still alive.
What's the rank you have to get to before you're like Richard Belzer? Well, just in the suit, like going around, like doing that shit all day. What is that ranking?
Well, he's probably a first grade detective. He's assigned to SUV, the Special Victims Unit, and SVU. I'm sorry, and you usually get that rank two ways, either through politics,
right,
or through some type of hard work. That detective rank, you don't have to take a civil service test like you have to for the ranks of sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. You either get it on merit, or you did something great, and or politics. You know somebody, you get the great unit, and you get promoted to detective. It's pretty prestigious also to be a first grade detective.
What's the best way to get out of a ticket? I get pulled over a lot, and I tried to do like the honesty thing. And that worked for me for a while. And I would actually admit, you know why I pulled you over? Yeah, because I was speeding. And a lot of times they would just let me go. And then I ran into this one guy when I was in Buffalo. And he goes, you know why he pulled you over? I go, yeah, because I was speeding. He goes, you have any idea how fast you're going? I'm like, I don't know, 65. He goes, yeah, this is like a 30 or a 35 or something like that. Then when he took my license, he goes, is this your current address? And I was like, no. And he goes, well, how long have you lived in a new address? And I knew what the penalty was, but I said, I don't know, about 8 months. And the douche came back and he wrote me a ticket for both things, which I think went above and beyond. I want to ask you, as a citizen, if I don't yell it at him, can I just still yell cunt, sort of like at my windshield? Can I do that? I mean, what ends up happening there?
I think you're just better off being quiet and taking the ticket.
Oh, absolutely, I know that, but I was just really wanted to just yell cunt.
I always wondered that too. What are you allowed to yell out, like, without it being
considered? Like, what exactly is insulting an officer like that charges?
Well, looking like the way you do, Bill, no one's going to care if you get shot 30 times.
What do you mean? I look like Howdy Doody.
Exactly. No one's going to care when they show your high school picture. No one's going to care looking the way you do.
Well, this is, you know what?
We got plenty of guys like you around here.
Can I ask you, like, how at what age do I have to be before I can actually sit there and go, what is your badge number, without just getting the shit kicked out of me? Because you can't do that in your 20s with like a baseball cap on backwards. I mean, aren't you just going to, get your head slammed off the pavement, then he just tells the judge, I felt threatened. Then you got a felony, and then hopefully your dad has some sort of political position and can get you out of it.
I'd feel safer questioning a cop in New York City about anything than I would questioning a cop in someplace like Buffalo.
Oh, really?
In Buffalo, they're going to get away with a lot more, less politics. It's not really like New York City, a liberal city. And the cops are probably backed a lot more. So if the cop, smacks the shit out of you, like I said, looking the way you look, no one's going to care. Just better off take the ticket and walk away.
That's so true, dude, because I went to college I went to Kutztown University in Pennsylvania, and it's this little bumfuck town in the middle of, like, Amish country, basically, in Pennsylvania. And, the town itself is probably 2 miles long, and the entire police force and the one judge in the town were completely in cahoots with the university. And the university, when they cracked down on student partying, they went right to the police force. The police would come through. They were doing so much shit that was just completely illegal. Like, they were literally, like, they'd look through peepholes in your door to try to see what was going on in your apartment before they came in, which is completely illegal. But there was nothing you could do. They'd look through the people. They'd
could have put
shit.
Hockey tape over the fucking door hole.
I was high half the time. I didn't, I wasn't that inventive. There
was nothing you could do. There were these peepholes, and I didn't have anything that you couldn't see through.
I'm acting like it was 1984. Do you have any razor blades? I'm out. But there was you were just fucked, and it was like I remember I got a noise violation at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for something, and I was just like, what are you, out of your mind? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I went to the judge, and they were, in more or less words, they were like, go fuck yourself. There's nothing you can do about this. There's no way you can fight this. You're going to have to pay. And it was, you were helpless, man, like completely helpless, because it was a one-horse town where everybody knew everybody.
And what you're saying is it's easier for that kind of stuff to happen in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, and it happens all the time, and you don't hear about it.
I had one time I was doing a college gig in the middle of Colorado, and I drove like an hour in the wrong direction. So I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere in the Rockies, so I start driving back trying to make up. I basically have to drive 2 hours round trip to get back to where the fuck I started to get to this gig. So I'm flying, and all of a sudden, this guy in like a Bronco literally almost coming the other way, almost runs me off the road. And I see like the little blue light on the dashboard. It's one of those things. He's almost like a pizza delivery guy where they can't afford like a real police car, so they use his vehicle. That's probably how he got on the force. He gets out of the car. He doesn't even have the whole cop uniform. He just has his shirt tucked into these Wrangler jeans. And I'm literally sitting there going like, for all I know, this guy isn't a fucking cop. And he comes up and he just punches my window and he's like, get it out! Like yelling about my insurance. And right there, I just want to be like...
Now, fuck that. You drive away. No way, dude.
Drive away, dude. That guy probably would have put two in the back of my head. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And nobody would have cared, Bill.
Exactly.
If you were dead.
Looking the way I look.
I was thinking we could take care of this right here.
Yeah.
In Brainerd.
Yeah.
Oh, you're finished. There'd be nothing. You're fucked in that situation.
So there's no way, like, I was wondering, like, the best thing is just to keep your damn mouth shut, because I just really wanted to say to that guy, like, you know, the guy in, like, Buffalo where he wrote me the extra ticket for my license, it's like, do you have some sort of, like, I don't know, policeman ball coming up where you need to raise fucking money or something? You try to be like cop of the month?
Is that true when they say they give out more tickets at the end of the month because they're trying to make the quota?
Absolutely true. We don't call it a quota, though. We changed it. We call it productivity goals.
Oh, is that what it is?
We can't use the word
What's the dumbest
quota.
thing you ever wrote a ticket for? We just like, this is such bullshit.
When I first became a cop, you know, you really want to do the right thing. You really think you can enforce everything, traffic laws, penal law. There used to be a summons, wheels not to curb. So if your wheels didn't face the curb with your parked car, you can get a summons for that. And they wanted our productivity goals were 20 or 25 a month. I would actually go down a whole block and write 25 wheels not to curb just to be done.
Just to get it out of the way?
Just to get done. So people, and they actually took it out because it caused a lot of problems. And there was another...
That's like that Al Capone shit, how they finally ended up getting him tax evasion instead of murder.
And then another one was the vehicle is over 12 inches from the curb. And they actually took both of these summonses out. And the cops could no longer be allowed to write them because it would cause trouble. The people would come out and can't believe it, and then it would escalate. It would always, and they look at it. It would spiral and escalate into something it shouldn't. Let's take these out of there because they are, after all, they are really stupid. And we see that some cops are forced to make an arrest stemming from a stupid summons. The people would come out, or they'd come. Are you kidding me, officer?
Right.
Your tires were not facing the curb. But no one tells you that when you're new.
Right.
You learn. You really learn.
But you had to admit, when you're walking down the street, you're kind of like...
Oh, I know.
Were you laughing? Did you go back to the police house and start cracking up? Well, I'm done for the day.
No, I'm done. Then I'm done. It says on the card that I could do that. It says right there. You take your nightstick out, and you know that the car is over 12 inches from the curb, and or the wheels are pointing out.
You do the boss hog shit, putting down the fake fire hydrant.
And there is
that's $200 right there.
The police administration will always tell you there's not a quota, but they're full of it. Because if a cop is working Monday through Friday with weekends off, somehow that cop always seems to make his quota, his productivity goals, because he has weekends off, and he doesn't want to lose that.
Right.
So whatever the police department is saying, you have to do this, is what we want. Some cops resist it, but they end up getting the shitty details and the shitty days off, and that's what happens. The animosity stems from that along the police department, because some guys, we call it prostitute yourself for a Saturday and Sunday off.
Would you let a guy out of a ticket if he cried? Because I got out of a ticket like that once.
I have to tell you,
in Virginia.
There are people you stop that you just like immediately.
Okay, this is good shit.
You just like them.
This is good shit.
As soon as you talk to Bill, like Bill, looking the way you look, I know I would like you right away.
Okay. What about me?
Yeah, and you too. And you too. Yeah, you too.
Such a need to be. He was adopted.
And that's the key.
Trying to bring up childhood issues. What about me? How come no one ever loves me?
I got pulled over for a seatbelt violation yesterday when I was driving into the city. And I just got myself like a PBA card. It was my first one ever. But I don't know the protocol on how to use that. And it ended up fucking me in the long run because the guy, I gave him my license without showing him the card. So he goes back into the car, his squad car, and I think he's just going to run my license, run my plates, and then come back and if he's going to give me a ticket, he's going to come back to my window and give me the ticket. So he comes back with the ticket already filled out, but now I'm holding the card, and he goes, "Why didn't you show me that before?" Like I'm supposed to know. I'm like, I don't get pulled over like all the time.
Yeah, but now you know it. I'm going to tell you, if you have anything like that, break out with it. Don't give them your license.
I felt
break
like it
out
was.
with that
I
stuff.
felt like
that's how you do it. Because I ended up getting one through this show. Actually, the Opie and Anthony show, I ended up getting one of those cards. Now, do those cards work nationally? Is that like, or is it like a gym membership? I got to go to my gym.
You can join an organization called the Fraternal Auto Police, FOP, as an associate member, even if you're a civilian. And those ID cards that you get seem to work better nationally. Because in Florida, most of the cops are sick of New York City cops coming down there and getting drunk and violating, the law. The local, just violating everything. After a while, and a lot of the cops.
Yeah, we saw the gonorrhea stats earlier in the show. Florida's right up there with Mississippi, which Joe now knows is right next to Alabama.
For the first time in my life, I know where Mississippi is, so I can fucking avoid it.
So anyway, so you're saying so that if you buy, how do I get into this club? How do I buy in? I want in.
Well,
I'm a made guy.
Well, that's like it. Did you see Hoffa? Did you ever see the movie Hoffa, where he gives Danny DeVito he gives him one of his business cards that says James R. Hoffa on the back. He just writes in pencil, "Give this man anything he wants," and he just fucking he just shows it everywhere, and everybody's like, "Oh!" And they buy it because he couldn't have possibly crafted this on his own. But I always felt like that's what one of those cards would do. Like it would just get you out of any fucking situation that you get pulled over, why?
Well, let's take it like one step at a time. To get into the fraternal order of police, how you can go on the internet and join.
Well, I would where I live. I would go to the precinct and find out if the local precinct has their own.
Oh God, I got to go talk to somebody.
No,
you could
go online also and find which one is close to you, and they'll tell you where to send the money. They send you stickers and a little badge and life insurance. It's and you're an associate.
And you go to a gay club and dress up like a cop. I know where this is going.
You're an associate member. You're a civilian, but it's a good thing to have. It's not going to give you carte blanche. It's if you were going a little bit too fast, you went through a stop sign.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was going to like the parameters.
Yeah.
You can't break out one of those after you snatched a purse.
I was just going to say,
I got a card.
You can't be standing over a body with 3 bullets in the back of his... Wait.
But I got to tell you, if you did do something that was really severe, and they were going through your ID, and they see it, they won't acknowledge that you have the PVA cards or another police officer's business card. But if you get arrested, they can't let you go, but they will do something like give you your own cell. That is important if you get arrested, especially on the weekend.
Literally, joining one of those could actually prevent you from being raped.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we learned today.
If you get arrested on the weekends, you need to have your own cell. You can rest before arraignment, and you don't have to sleep with your eyes open.
I had no idea how dangerously I've been living all these years.
And looking the way you look on the weekends, you'll be in a giant holding tank with a lot of bears, giant bears, big giant bears.
Steve the bear, you going to be in there?
Looking the way you look.
And you'll have no sneakers. Your shirt will be gone.
Nothing would make me happier than watching surveillance footage of 6 bears just descending on Burr's asshole.
Me getting mauled.
The joy. It'd be like in Menace to Society. I'd be showing the fucking tape to all my boys. You see the tape? All right, we want to.
How often? Let me ask you. How often does? Because what I've learned through like certain comedians who actually have records and shit, there's a difference between jail and prison. Like jail is just when you go to jail, that's just kind of like some like. Is that like when you maybe have a little domestic violence dispute with your girl and they just kind of hold you down at the police station? Is there like a difference? Like I know there's like Leavenworth, there's like hardcore prisons, there's lighter prisons, but is there something that is just sort of like sometimes like guys get arrested and I was in jail for 3 days and they don't have to go back, like the shit is over. Like what kind of law do you break when you just kind of have like one of those things? Like you hear guys, they've been arrested 38 times and it's like, what happened to 3-time loser? Well, it wasn't a felony, Well,
Rikers Island, you can be held up to a year. And then if the courts deem that you have to be further incarcerated, they'll move you upstate. So, to any Sing Sing, Ossining, Dannemora, Attica, there were tons of places upstate where they would house you if you did something.
But say like, if you get into a fight in a bar, right, on 8th Avenue, you fight some other, frat kid because he grabbed your girl's ass, you can't prove it or something, like I'm innocent in this story, right? You beat the shit out of each other, and then you both get both are pressing charges, whatever. You both get arrested. What kind of jail am I going to? You're not actually going to take me to Rikers, are you?
No,
I'm going to go to.
You'll be at, if it happens in the borough of Manhattan Central Booking, which is downtown, and of course each precinct has this holding cell,
right?
And basically, if you don't have a record or any warrants, they want to arraign you before a judge,
right?
And it's like, let's make a deal. If we let you go now, will you come back? If we let you go, you won't get arrested again. If we let you go, do you want to come back with your own attorney? And they have your fingerprints come back, and then they look at your record. If you don't have any, you're going to be out the door. But you can end up in the system, especially, let's say, a Thursday night for 4 days. You can end up between the precinct and Manhattan Central Booking.
Just because it's a busy time?
It's busy on the weekends. And that's another thing. If you know a cop, you can have your arraignment pushed up also, because I've done that.
So basically, the time to sucker punch somebody would probably be a Monday through a Wednesday, is what you're saying.
The best time. Weekends are unbelievable. And plus, you have less assistant district attorneys working on the midnight shift.
So wait, you just said you can end up in a system. What did you just say?
The system.
The system. But what were you...
And Joe, looking the way you do, which is a very reoccurring theme on this.
I think this is a chance.
And you know what, Joe? Nothing would make me feel better to see a half Egyptian getting shipped out to Rikers Island. I just want the footage of your face as you're driving over that bridge by LaGuardia.
When I'm the first Egyptian to be jailed there, and they're all waiting, like it's a new meal on the menu. We ain't never had Egyptian. They just fucking line up to get a taste.
Can you get arrested for like a bar fight and just be such a dick that they end up sending you to Rikers? Like, have you ever seen somebody like who's just throwing gas on the fire, where it's like, dude, you literally would have been the scenario you said, where you would have got arraigned, you would have been out of here in a couple of hours, and next thing you know, you're in a knife fight in like fucking Sing Sing. Like, what's the worst case scenario?
Well, if I arrested a guy and he was a complete asshole, the first thing you do from the scene, you bring him to the hospital, and that's going to add a day, maybe a day and a half to his incarceration. You bring him to the hospital, you think that he's mentally unfit. You're supposed to be the expert as a cop. You can tell if the guy's crazy. You could tell if the guy's hurt. And they really don't want you to bring him to the precinct if he's acting in an irrational manner or he's really hurt. But even if it's on the fence, whether he's crazy or whether he's hurt, you could fuck him by bringing him to the hospital.
But isn't the hospital better than being in with the bears?
And then
you get your own bed?
It adds a day to your time in the system. It's a day later that you'll be arraigned. It's a day later that you'll get to central booking from the hospital.
Oh, I get it. You make them think like you're icing a field goal kicker. You make them sit in the hospital and think about going to jail.
System. And especially if it's a psycho ward, you have to wait for the shrink to come and evaluate him. And that could take a day. And now he's in a padded cell, awaiting arraignment, and he's not that crazy. And you're fucking him. You were a wise ass. You resisted me putting the handcuffs on.
Do you peek in through the little square window and laugh at him?
I have antagonized people on purpose.
You have? Let me hear some of these stories.
I've teased people and antagonized them. I had
give us
Well, I actually had a woman who was tearing her own hair out of her head.
Hilarious.
On the top of
always funny.
And great. And there was a female sergeant. I was a cop at the time, and she wanted to handle it. After all, she was a woman, and I'm with my partner, and the woman's she's good looking. She has big breasted and panties, tearing the hair out of her head and throwing it at us.
Wait, big breasted and panties? She's not wearing a skirt.
She's wearing panties.
Okay, she's got pants. Let's paint the picture. She got panties on. She's wearing a shirt.
No.
High heels.
No shoes.
No shirt.
Barefoot. Panties, bra, tearing her hair out.
No bra. Bare-breasted.
I think I saw this episode on Cops.
And tearing her hair. She had like a failed relationship or something, and she was tearing her hair out of her head and throwing it at us. So there's bits of hair and blood everywhere. And of course, the female sergeant, she wanted to.
How do you not laugh in that situation? That's got to be...
Well, you do. And let me finish the story, because the female sergeant wouldn't let the male cops go up and get this woman. She had to do it. And she went up and took a punch in the face, and she ended up going right down the stairs and hurting herself. And then, of course, I went right up there, and I just picked the lady up and threw her right down the stairs. I threw her down the stairs, cuffed her, and she was like wildly out of control. And I had to smack her because she's kicking me and punching me and trying to.
How did you do it? Did you do it classy backhand?
Can
or closed fisted?
I didn't want to. You know what? She's still a woman, even though she's crazy. You know you're stronger than her, but she just would not, let herself be put under control.
Let me interject just for a second. Let's just be honest for a second here. How fucking good must that feel when, for the first time in your life, you're allowed to hit a woman in the fucking face? And you're just finally allowed to be like, really? And just fucking really, finally, you're just like, fucking finally. A little fucking evening of the field here.
All human beings are the same. It's fun sometimes to hit anybody.
Right.
Especially if they're pissing you off or trying to hurt you. So, to make a long story short, with this woman, we get her to the Elmhurst psycho ward, and she's whispering something to the doctor when he's trying to talk to her. She's in a straitjacket. And the doctor leans over.
Clumps of hair,
and she says, the doctor's kind of, is there anything wrong with you? She said, she nods the doctor to look at me, and she says, he's crazy.
Oh, she said it about you?
Yeah. He's the crazy one. And I thought that was very perceptive of her because it's true. And
I got to admit, Lou, you got a look in your eye. I don't know what it is.
It works. It works. It's a good look. It's a deterrent. It's why I do what I do.
Was it something that you just became over years of seeing fucked up shit that you got the look, kind of like the 200-yard stare?
You become an actor. It's all pretend. It's really pretend. My wife will say, don't let anybody hear you talk. They'll know you're a teddy bear. Don't let anybody hear you talk. They'll know you're really nice. And, I do security and bodyguard and protective and police work my whole life, so it's a lot of pretending.
I got to be honest with you. From the minute I heard you speak, I've been saying that to everybody. That man is a teddy bear.
I was going to go the other route. I'm not. You know what it is? Because you kind of came in. I've never seen you in, like, daylight. I got to admit. I always see you down the club.
Sure.
You always look great down there.
And, of course, looking the way I look.
Yeah, looking the way you look.
That works for me. That works for me. I know exactly what I look like, and I do security at a comedy club, and I can use the way I look to help me.
Doing security at a comedy club as opposed to being a cop, do you feel like now, like you went from like the NBA to like the CBA? You know what I'm saying? It's like
no, absolutely not.
Competition
it's
a lot less.
It's a wonderful job. I get to meet you guys.
Right.
And although
is that a backhanded compliment?
It's a security. I try to guess who's gonna make the big time. And I suck up to them. And
security someday.
Which is why he hasn't been speaking to me that much at the club.
Well, you actually had an interesting thing happen the other night, because I know every once in a while somebody acts up down at the club. And what was it? The Last Comic Standing auditions were down there.
Yes.
And they basically was it during the day or was it at night? Where
it was auditions during the day. Mm-hmm. This guy, he started out sane. He was a comic, and the judges liked him in the beginning. They were going to, let him continue, but then he just got bizarre. And they actually got frightened. He just started...
Bizarre how?
Screaming, yelling, thrashing about, falling down, totally incoherent.
I think it's called out of material.
And, of course, they call me, and all I did was gently put my hand on his elbow, and he fell down like he was on fire. The whole thing's being filmed for television.
So this is going to be on Last Comic Standing.
Yes. So now I pick the guy up and I have him in a bear hug. And, of course, he can't get out. He's trying to, but each time he struggles, it's less of a chance.
It's like a boa constrictor. It just keeps getting tighter.
He couldn't breathe. It just kept, every time he's trying to breathe, he couldn't breathe. So, of course, the cameras, they come right in with the cameras because it's great television. And I think they picked me up saying to the guy, you're on live television, and your friends are going to witness you catching a beating from someone double your age. And then he calmed down.
So we can see this on Last Comic Standing.
Oh yeah, it's going. They made me sign this disclaimers right away. I hardly was done with putting the guy out onto the street, and the people were shoving the paperwork in my face to sign. Sign this.
Reality shows.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how much money would have had to give you just to put Ant into a chokehold for no good reason, just because I would just love to see it.
Well, he was actually afraid at a few points where he actually needed me to walk him into the green room, and at the
which is amazing because you think if you act like a complete cocksucker to people and treat them like dog shit, you'd have no problems walking around a room.
Yeah, Joe kind of has issues with being judged by someone of the caliber of Ant.
And I'm speaking just for myself here. I'm not. My Joe DeRosa's views on Ant do not represent the views of Uninformed or XM Radio.
But
anyway,
they do represent the point of view of just about every comic.
Oh my God! So you had to walk it. We're gonna play some pieces from this podcast later that I did, where I kind of tracked.
Yeah. We got to let the audience know what's going on. Joe actually was one of the 43 or 4,400 people who went down and auditioned for Last Comic Standing, and Joe, I guess, didn't have a good experience. So much to the point that he spouted off in a podcast that can be heard on Cringe Humor.
CringeHumor.net.
He played
a 60-minute podcast.
He played 60 minutes. 60 minutes. He goes off on his 3-minute audition, and I'm listening to the thing. I thought it was gonna be like, and that Ant's a fucking cunt, and it isn't. He's speaking. He sounds like he's on Meet the Press. We're gonna play that a little bit later on in the show.
We should do before we go to that, we should do the perfect murder thing. Because we thought it'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
Billy and I were thinking of. We wanted you to sort of be a judge in this. We devised ways in which we would murder one another, and we tried to come up with the perfect murder to execute on.
Yeah, because we're always watching these things on TV, and it's like the technology to capture somebody. It's almost like not even fair anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching the Yankees play the Pirates or something. You know, like with like the helicopters. Like, first of all, what percentage? Because when you watch like those A&E like murder mystery things, you know, and they look at the imprint of somebody's face in like a garbage bag, and they figure out that they've been like suffocated and stuff. Is it like what percentage of murder? If you watch that stuff, you feel like, oh my God, you could never get away with murder. But isn't the reality? I mean, how many of, like, what percentage of murders do you think actually gets solved?
The first thing the investigative body looks at is, when they have a homicide, is people close. Mm-hmm. Husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, neighbors, friends. And normally that's who you get killed by, someone you know.
Right.
If you guys are looking to do the perfect murder, you can't kill one another. You have to kill a random stranger, and then you'll never get caught.
Right.
If you can keep your mouth shut and you just kill a random...
Which is why I think my way of killing him is going to work, because I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I get to a level in this business, which might take, 30 years, where I have such fanatical fans. And there's so many psychos on MySpace that I can somehow convince one of them through some sort of like mind trick that Joe DeRosa is out to get me. And it's just like the fucking Oswald thing. I'm gonna get a guy who's half fucking loony, and that's how you do it, right? And I'll get him or her to somehow kill Joe, and because you'll clearly be crazy, then I'll just be, I have no fucking idea, you know.
Yeah, but wouldn't there be
that's pretty fleshed out, isn't it?
Wouldn't there be documents?
Any murder plan that just ends with you know? I mean, I think it's a pretty good indication you're going to get caught.
But there would be accounts of you speaking to them about it.
I know, but I would only speak to him face to face.
That's what I'm saying. Then they could go to the police and go, he told me he wanted me to kill him.
And then I'd say, no, I'm not this person. No, I didn't. This person's crazy. I've never met them.
Why don't you just go, nuh-uh. Prove it. The worst fucking defense I've ever heard. Nuh-uh.
Well, she can just say that she fucking talked to me, and then I say, no, you didn't. She doesn't have any fucking witnesses. That's basically what it is. You talked to me. No, I didn't.
Well, where are you going to talk to her? You got to meet her somewhere.
I'll meet her at a fucking show. Joe, this is fantasy. It's all working out in my head.
Mine's better.
Well, listen.
Punch holes in his, or don't.
Well,
maybe it's good.
The direction I'm going is I'm finding somebody who's already half fucking crazy, which I think would kind of insulate me, wouldn't it? Because my whole defense can be like, I don't know what this person's talking about. They're fucking crazy. And I love Joe DeRosa. He was one of my favorite human beings on the planet.
I would think if you're going to kill somebody, first and foremost, never talk about it. So it's already too late.
Right.
You can't really kill him because you've talked about it.
I would never want to kill Joe. He's not.
But we have to.
He's not a threat to me on any level.
Yeah, we have to approach this as. We have to approach this. What a dick, right? We have to approach this as if we're not talking about this right now.
Well, once again, looking the way you guys look, how important are the detectives on the scene when they're looking at the way you look, lined in chalk, of course, at the crime scene?
Right.
How important are they going to deem, the investigation? You know,
were you one of the guys, like, as far as, like, the level of, like, your job at the police force, were you the guy going, get out of my crime scene, or were you the guy fucking up the crime scene?
But I was by the end of my career, I was a supervisor, and actually, I was in plain clothes for half of my career, but to be closer to home, I actually went back into the bag, back into uniform. And
the bag, why do they call it the bag?
I don't know, because it's a bag, I guess. I don't really know. It's just terminology.
The term they used, and
back
you had
in the
no
bag.
idea what it meant.
Yeah, back in the bag. And I guess after a while, uniform looks like a bag. It's kind of hanging off your body. You stop washing it. You just wear the same thing every day. You don't care. But
you're like the waiter that's been at the restaurant for too long.
And he looks at
don't write shit down anymore.
Yeah, well, before I retired, I was definitely there too long. But
how much pussy did you get as a cop?
Wait a second. Hold on. Wait. We're getting way off the perfect murder thing here.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
The pussy's important. Let's get to that.
Yeah, let's get to the pussy.
I want to say how I'm going to murder you, though.
Okay, go ahead.
This is, all right. Caroline's Comedy Club.
All right.
Have you been there?
It's close to here.
There's a huge flight of steps going down to the club. Huge. If you fell down them, you'd be dead.
Not true. I saw Jimmy Martinez do it. But he had on a big winter coat.
Charles Walden fell down those steps, the crippled comic. He's got cerebral palsy and he fell down the fucking steps. And Keith Robinson... Keith and Patrice took him to the hospital, and Keith's going, God damn, Charles, you can't go walking around like you're normal. You got to be careful going down steps. So my plan is, Billy and I are going into Caroline's because we have a show together one day there, right? And as he steps down to the first step, I throw marbles under his feet, and he falls down. I pick up the marbles. Billy fell down the steps.
What are you, in the Little Rascal?
It was a tragedy. He's dead.
First of all, his is stupid.
Flawless.
Dude, you're at the scene of the crime. You're an idiot.
Who's going to think I threw marbles down? Nobody would ever guess that.
The lady sitting in the ticket booth at the top of the stairs?
It'll be a late show when that lady's not in the booth anymore.
Oh, okay.
On the 12:30.
Okay, and then Louie's there, and I roll down the stairs, and then hear of all the fucking marbles hitting the
carpeted steps. There'd be no.
No, but there's wood paneling on the side, and marbles bounce. And don't tell me they don't, because I know they did.
Couple marbles, dude. Nobody would ever. I think that's flawless.
Well, listen, Lou, you got to admit, if you want to get away with the murder, isn't it better to try to get somebody sort of anonymous to do it for you, to at least not put yourself at the scene?
No, you never add any people into it, ever.
Okay.
You do it. You don't talk about it. You just do it.
Okay, you do it, but do you do it at your place of work?
Well, if you decide to do it, I would never. No, but if you're going to kill somebody, they stay where you kill them. There's none of this transporting in your car, hiding the body, chopping the body up. If you kill it, it stays where it is, because then you have less chance of getting caught. They can't use scientific evidence against you either.
Right.
What if I went to the Grand Canyon with him, and it was just me and him out on the rim, and I pushed him over the edge? Would they be able to tell, like through forensics, he was pushed, he didn't fall?
No. But
they would. They would have seen the scuff marks on my feet going, Joe.
Well, it depends on. It really depends on how good the detectives are interrogating you. If two very good New York City detectives would have interrogated O.J., and I could have been one of them, I know I could have got him to confess without laying a hand on him. Mm-hmm. It's just the cops out there seem to be in awe of the celeb affair, and they treated him like he was...
it's kind of like L.A. Comics. Yeah. They stink.
The bottom line is they could have got this guy who was so distraught when he first got arrested. He would have confessed, and they didn't interrogate him the right way. They just let him get away with it.
You know, that's how I knew O.J. did it, because when they handcuffed him, he didn't look like a guy who just found out a woman he loved had been killed. And not only that, he was being charged with it. He looked like, oh, man, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
I would have said, O.J., you were my hero. I watched you run in the snow. 2,000 yards. Me, my dad, and my brother, we cried. That was the greatest thing to watch O.J. running in the snow. What happened? She wouldn't let you go to the recital, and you got mad. God, my wife pisses me off so much. I want to kill her also. And I would have pet him. And he would have cried. I would have had him crying. He would have. I know every good New York City detective would have had that guy.
That's the way you would approach him.
Exactly.
Was that your general approach that you took with people?
Well, I knew he did it from the moment. From the moment I heard, I knew he did it. And everybody knows he did it. Even like the black community starting to think that way also. You hear it in their sentiment that this is how they believe now. In the beginning, of course, because the detective there used the N-word, I think his name is
Furman. Yeah, that tends to throw a wrench in your case when you're trying to convict a black guy and the other guy's every other word out of his mouth, and he's not rapping. Is the N-word.
And you know what? And it's a college-educated guy, a good-looking guy, a smart guy, who in selected circles is using the N-word, which everyone does anyway. In selected circles, we do, sneak in that word. We all do it. And I really do believe that good New York City detective could have got out.
You're saying we all do what? Cops all do it? Is what you're saying, or people?
People. Do it.
I don't know.
I kind of hate.
Out of that circle.
You know what? I'm sick of the word. I hate the word. I'm retired for 6 years now, so I don't hear it as much as I did. And I don't really like the word. It's just we should do something about it. I just don't like it.
I think it's more. I think.
All right, you know what? We're gonna have to take a break here, and we'll be back with more cop talk with Lou Talano Jr.
Yeah, and we're also gonna do the spelling bee, right?
Yep, spelling bee's coming up later.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great, Joe. Thanks for making a nice, smooth transition and fucking it up. Yeah, we're also going to do something else in fucking an hour.
I thought we
really didn't need to be brought up now.
I thought we were...
You're listening to Uninformed and stammering Joe DeRosa.
We'll be right back with some choice cuts from the motherfucking Uninformed mixtape. Uninformed.
It's Uninformed with Bill Burr and Joe DeRosa.
Lou is literally telling us stories like during the break, like Buddy Hackett in the old Carson days. Just telling us great stories. Lou, we got to have you back. But before you go, we always have to demonstrate to our fans what fucking idiots we are. And I just realized lately, what a bad speller I am. And I've been giving Joe such shit of how he can't pick out Mississippi on a map that we're actually going to have a spelling bee. We figured, why not keep you around, a guy who actually had the legal right to shoot somebody and punch a woman in the face and throw her down the stairs.
Well, all of us really have that right, depending on the scenario. Everybody in this room has the right to do that, depending on the scenario.
I have one question: when?
Yeah. I'd like to know
when can I?
I want the list of scenarios in a pamphlet that I can carry out of my wallet.
Yeah. At what moment on the date that's not going well do I know that I can actually throw the girl down a flight of stairs?
I think when she goes, I thought we were just friends.
Well, I think...
no, when she goes, Olive Garden?
You remember the Bobbits, of course, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's your scenario. The girl cuts your cock off and you slap her.
I think
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you know what? Then I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to hit a woman. I just think it's like in a Three Stooges way. It's kind of funny.
But if that's how far you got to go, I mean, that's the last thing I'd be thinking of if my cock is laying in a field somewhere.
Listen, you should never hit a woman, but if you see it, you got to admit there's a part of it that's kind of funny.
Thanks, McGruff.
Oh, you know what? I've just lately people just been coming at me just saying, you fucking hate women, you blah blah. I just more say shit because I just think
especially if the woman is Paris Hilton.
Nobody thinks you should hit a woman.
There you go. No, everyone would love that.
You probably hurt your hand. She's so bony. All right, let's get on with the. I guess Danny Boy is coming up with the list of words that are commonly used words that you actually try to impress people, and maybe could actually get you laid if a girl's into an intelligent person, but you can't even fucking spell the word.
I'm making a prediction right now because I know that you're a shit speller. That this is where I'll redeem myself because with the map bullshit. That this is where I'll show that I.
Yeah, but I have an excuse why I'm such a bad speller. Before we even get into it.
What?
It was the system, man.
I was lost in the system, man.
No, this is what happened. They start teaching you how to read and write, in first grade, second grade, third grade. So I'd learned all these words. They were fresh in my head, okay? New knowledge, okay? And in fourth grade, for some reason, they stopped teaching us how to spell the words that they taught us. They wanted to teach us how to spell them phonetically. So all of a sudden they were teaching us, cat, C-A-T was now K-A-T. And you had to learn all these words that you just got in your head. You had to learn how to spell them phonetically. So that mismatch of shit was in my head, and I never fucking recovered because after fifth grade, you don't have spelling anymore.
Goofy fucking school did you go to when they did that?
I don't know. It was stupid. Dude, I went to in the early 70s. They're giving us Tang because the astronauts were drinking it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that's my excuse. That's like if you taught some kid 2 + 2 is 4, the next year you're like, it's 5. It's 5, and then you just got that.
Well, they did that in my school. They burned all the maps one year. I don't know why. They just did that, and they They said
You're not a good liar, Joe. I can. You know what? I'm going to lose word here. I can fucking look into your
I'll never forget. I went in first day of 3rd grade, and there was a fire, and it was all maps, and the teacher was going, "These maps are cunts."
You should have gone with someone who beat you with a globe.
That's a Dave Attell joke.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to travel because my father used to beat me with a globe.
All right. I got a little Carlos Mencia in me. All right.
So I wasn't saying like you bit it. I was just saying like that's why.
Oh, it's a line from his act.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are we going to work the spelling bee? I'll throw out the word, and then Bill, if you get it.
Have you ever seen it? Have you ever been involved in a spelling bee?
Yeah, when I was 10.
This is the
right,
worst.
And there was a teacher, and she would just read the words.
You know how many beers ago that was?
And we go ahead. You know what? Just read a fucking word and
keep
you'll
score.
You'll see how it goes.
If he can't get it right, then it goes to me. If I can't get it right, it goes to Lou. And then if Lou can't get it right,
you get a new word.
That's not how it works. You're right. You're right.
I think it is how it works.
But it's not fair because if you spell it wrong and you fuck it up, then that gives me the advantage to try
But you know what, Joe? Life isn't fair, so that's how we're doing it. All right, let's
keep score, Danny. 1 point per word.
Okay, so we got 2 comics and a retired police officer. Going to try to spell words that we use all the time to try to impress people. I'm going first. I'm going to go first.
The first word
5-year-old
is maneuver.
Maneuver. Could you use it in a sentence?
Do you really want me to use it in a sentence?
I'm going to use it in a sentence.
I was driving down the highway and I had to make a defensive maneuver.
Why?
Because some fucking cop was chasing me.
All right.
I saw a car that was just like mine and I was admiring it.
All right. Maneuver. M. Come on, guys. Back me up. M. Maneuver. M-A-N. This is where it gets tough. The Uber part. M-A-N.
Just waiting for him to go.
U-E-V-E-R.
Did you hear? I just thought it was going to go O-O-V-E-R.
Go ahead.
It's to you, Joe.
Maneuver. M-A-N. Wait, how did he spell it?
All right, he's dead.
Wait a second. No, wait.
Hit the buzzer and move on.
M-A-N-U-E-V-E-R.
Nice. We should make you try to spell cop words like perpetrator. All right,
citation. Go ahead.
Maneuver. M-E-N-U-V-E-R.
How do you spell it?
M-E-N. Maneuver.
Men. You really got men on your mind.
You guys got it wrong with
bears.
I'm not gonna be like Alex Trebek and pretend that I would have gotten it. You know, like I knew all along because I would have never spelled it correctly.
Oh,
but the correct spelling of maneuver is actually M-A-N-E-U-V-E-R.
God damn it!
I said U-E.
I did it. I spelled it exactly the same way you did.
Moron.
All right.
Yeah, but we all got it wrong.
M-A-N. Lou, you were the worst. M-E-N. That was. At least we knew it was singular, not plural. Maneuver, not maneuver.
All right.
What's next, Danny?
Well, let's do a cop word.
Okay, let's do a cop word, and we'll start with Lou. Everybody, big goose egg on the first one.
The word is sergeant.
This is a bitch.
Yeah, that is a fucking hard
wait,
one.
I'm supposed to have a poker face. I got this.
S-A-R-G-E-A-N-T.
That is correct.
God damn it. All right.
Well, that's not fair. He was a sergeant.
Yeah, but there's another way to spell it also with an S-E. You know, instead of S-A, so...
It's like,
all right.
You know.
Up one. He's a guest, okay?
All right,
Cut the guy some slack. Jesus Christ.
Wait, spell it again? What did you say?
That's too. I don't remember what I said.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You going to take it away from him?
Because the other spelling is S.
That's a technicality. He got it either way.
Danny, it's right in front of you. Jesus Christ.
Spell the correct spelling.
No, I'm not doing anything.
All right. Over to Joe.
Perpetrator. P-E-R-P-R-E-T-A-T-O-R.
That was way too many letters.
All right, to Joe. The word is conscience.
Oh, man, these are hard.
Conscience. C-O-N-S-C.
I like it so far.
I-E-N-C-E.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, pressure's on.
Joe got one. That's to Bill.
Come on, Danny. Just remember who doesn't sign your paycheck.
What does the winner get, by the way?
Gloating rights? I don't know.
Bill, the word is minuscule.
Oh, you know what? Go fuck yourself.
You've had that reaction to every word. No,
I didn't. I said maneuver. I said, ooh, that's a tough one.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Minuscule. You get conscience. Fucking playing favorites on me here. Minuscule. M. Minuscule. M-I-N.
Yeah,
rubbing my fucking forehead.
I got my buzzer finger ready.
Massaging the fucking button already.
All right, I really have to write this down here. M-I-N-I-S-C-U-L-E?
U-S. It was U-S.
See? I'm sound spelling. Minuscule.
There's an us in minuscule, Bill.
These are pretty hard words.
Well,
that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
Well, you were actually supposed to try to spell it. Someone was supposed to. Wow, this is really showing what we're like over here in America.
Yeah.
Like I had to have a southern accent. Like I'm not really a shithead from the north. What the fuck was that all about?
Everybody, but that's just what you got to do. You know, there's no way to not do that when you talk about how dumb.
Yeah, you got to do the
people are
moron
in
voice.
this country.
It's not just that. We text message and we use the computer, and everything is becoming abbreviated now.
Well, you just hit spell check,
you know,
but you never learn it.
How dumb were those fucking kids the other night at that prom show?
I know, they're pretty stupid.
I mean, I'm convinced that if God was watching that occur, he would have brought back Passover immediately. He would have been like real Passover, where he's like, all the babies will die tonight. Like, they were the dumbest fucking kids.
What happened in Passover?
Remember original Passover in the Bible when they marked the blood on the door and the angel of death would come and kill your fucking
dude? I gotta read that
firstborn
book.
Baby. It's Revelations, I think.
You know, I try to read Revelations. It's about the end of the world. It's like, could they update the English? You know what I'm saying? Like the way it's written. I can't.
No,
I can't.
Well, you can't update. I mean, it's like saying, can they update Shakespeare?
I'm not saying change it. I'm not saying change, but like, can you write it in layman's terms?
Yeah, translate it.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the same way they did the Beowulf. You know.
Yeah, I guess
Beowulf. Yeah, I had to read that in high school.
Why did you translate it?
Yeah, it's about somebody fighting a
just
sea
watch
lion,
that
right?
movie, The Bible. All right.
All right, it's back to Lou.
Yeah.
All right, Lou. The word is
convicted rapist.
A-M-A-T.
I can spell this.
E-U-R.
That is correct.
Yeah, Jesus
very
Christ.
good,
And I get
Lou.
minuscule. Why don't you give him facetious?
That's not on my list.
Very good, Lou. And Billy, you run this. Danny, you run the spelling bee however you want. You don't let Billy poke you around.
I'm just picking random words.
Joe, the word is sailboat. Oh, God, is that one or two words?
All right, here. You want
conscience is no walk in the fucking park. That's a tough word to spell.
Here,
not,
Joe.
not next to minuscule, okay?
Joe, your word is inoculate.
Thank you. Okay.
Inoculate. I-N-O-C-U-L-A-T-E.
That's correct.
God damn it.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
God damn it. Fuck you, you don't even know what Mississippi is. You're gonna come...
Well, I know how to spell a word. What's going to come
Good.
in
Well,
handy
maybe
more
maybe
as
you
a
know how to-
comedian and a writer? What
Good.
would serve me the better purpose?
I don't know, Joe. Maybe someday you'll be able to write what fucking state am I in.
I'll never
Be
be
able
in
to spell that
Mississippi,
correctly.
so it doesn't matter.
Please.
And I can spell
You know
Mississippi.
why? Because you
Can
don't have
spell,
a college
can
agent.
you spell Mississippi,
Because
Billy?
Yeah, I can. I can spell Mississippi.
Well, who can't?
That is my next word.
Who can't spell Mississippi? It's that fucking thing for when you're a kid. Everybody can spell Mississippi.
What thing from when you were a kid?
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. Everybody used to do that when they were a kid.
How does it go?
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Did you have to move your head like that?
Yeah.
Bouncing along with the music?
Yes. Because I'm a simple man, and I wanted to bounce my head around to my Mississippi song. It brings me a little joy.
Is there any way you could just kind of make your visor even more fucking scrunched in?
I know, this looks like one of those Abercrombie Fitch hats that you buy that's already
it looks like
ripped.
you had it in your back pocket and sat on it.
All right,
let's go.
Next word.
This is all just anger because I'm down
I know, it's okay.
2-0.
It's okay.
Bill?
All right.
The word is...
Go easy. Easy now.
Noticeable.
Yeah, I'm never going to get there. I know how to spell notice, but once you add the a bull part, does the E, what is the ego? Yeah, see, that looks bad. What I just wrote does not look right. Notice. Bull. Notic. Here's the speed bump. Do I take the E out? Noticeable. Noticeable. That is correct.
Yes,
it is.
That is
yes.
correct.
See, you didn't even know, you asshole. I love it. I love it. I'm breathing down your neck, DeRosa.
I thought I was wrong. You know what? Let me just say this right
Lou,
now.
you have to win this. We can't let a half Egyptian with a
I don't think I care. I don't think I care.
Remember 9/11.
I don't think I care for Danny's Regis Philbin approach to the way he takes that pause and goes, "That is correct." You know,
It had me on the. It had me
too.
It's got to be pseudo exciting for the listeners, right?
All right, I just wanted to take the cheap shot.
Come on,
All right,
he's
I'm
old
sorry.
school. He's an old school performer. You give him a show.
All right, it's to Lou, right?
It's to Lou.
Okay. Lou, the word is occurrence.
He's done on this one.
That's an easy one.
CCUR.
I would have spelled
ENCE.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
ANCE.
Well, isn't it rotating? Now doesn't
Yeah,
Joe?
well,
I
now,
think
now
we
you can't.
jumped.
Now you can't.
It's all right. Just give me a new word. I think we kind of jumped off the rotation.
Yeah, we're not doing the rotation.
Okay. So new word entirely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the rotation's not fair because it's like if the guy spells it wrong, you kind of know.
Joe, we all agreed. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Fucking over-explaining jackass.
Bill's anger over
Start
there.
pontificating. Sorry, I'm competitive.
His shitty small-town Boston education. I came from a rough neighborhood in Boston.
I didn't.
We didn't read.
Did you just rent Goodwill Hunting?
Yeah, I just picture you.
Yeah,
My father laid brick.
I picked the wrench because fuck him.
All right.
The worst part of Goodwill Hunting is when Robin Williams tries to say like how much you benching, and Robin Williams goes 270, and you're looking at this little 50-year-old Jewish guy. It's like, no, you're not benching 270. You're putting up about 70. All right, let's go.
The next word to Joe.
Yes.
Is restaurant.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a fucking. I spell this wrong every time.
Oh, shut up with the excuses. Go on. Get on to the embarrassment. That's actually restaurant, not restaurant. I'm going to a restaurant. That's how you say it.
Well, that's your opinion.
R-E...
Danny Trebek. That's your male stripper name. You start taking steroids and start dancing, having those little mustaches.
He doesn't have that anymore.
Huh?
He hasn't had that in a long
That's
time.
what I'm saying. You bring it back.
I don't like him without the mustache. I like
It's
it better
creepy,
with-
right?
Yeah, it doesn't look right. That was like when Tom Selleck shaved his mustache for In and Out for that. It didn't look right. All right,
Wayne Newton.
yeah, it's not. You know. All right,
Here we go.
restaurant R-E-S-T.
There you go. Safe. You hit the first rock, Joe. You're going across the river.
R. Wait, no.
There's no wait. Hit the buzzer.
No,
there is no wait.
You didn't. You can change it if you don't complete the word.
There's no wait.
Yeah.
Danny, there's no
I
wait.
got
Look at me.
confused for a second.
Danny, if you don't hit the... Turn your key.
No, that's bullshit.
Turn your key. Hit
That's
the buzzer.
bullshit.
Hit
See,
the
this
buzzer.
is
You're
where I
out.
wanted to
You're
know
out.
what the set in stone rules were.
There's no nothing set
If
in
you
stone.
Lou, if you don't
Lou,
finish
this
the
is a
word,
domestic dispute here. Come on.
is that your final answer? That's the whole.
Chance. Let's give him another chance.
He's a guest, Bill. Go easy on him. Be
But
hospitable.
you're not a guest.
No, I'm saying,
You're
but
a
the
cunt.
guest
Go
wants
ahead.
me to go again.
Go ahead. Do your
The
little
guest
do-over.
wants me to go again.
Everybody gets a ribbon. Go ahead, Joe.
Can you
do it again?
See that he gets put into a holding cell with 5 bears, please.
Is that what you call rapists in jail? Bears?
Just big, gigantic guys.
Oh.
All right, restaurant. R-E-S-T.
No, wait.
U-A-R-A-N-T. It didn't work. I was like, I got it. And then I saw Danny's face like, why the fuck isn't the buzzer working?
I like how
and I
he
was just like, son of a bitch.
He's faking you out. I love it. All right, Joe, you're only up by 1.
Okay.
That fucking word sucks.
Wait a minute. So you got 2, Lou has 2, and I have 1?
Yep.
Why don't you let him try to spell restaurant?
Because we already got rid of that part of it. And I don't know how to spell it.
do you spell it?
How do you spell it?
How do you spell it?
The correct
Are you
spelling
on?
is... Because no one else is spelling this, right?
Right.
Okay, it's going to be R-E-S-T A-U-R-A-N-T.
Fucking bastard.
What, the guy who invented the word?
Yep. What was his name? Charlie Restaurant.
Some French guy.
Bill?
Okay.
The word is...
What are we trying to get to? The first person to 3? Because this game's going to go on forever.
I don't know. Just
First person to 3. I'm getting a little bored with this. I think we've established the fact that I'm a moron.
I felt like we were just getting the vibe. We're starting to talk shit.
Oh, is that okay?
I don't know.
We were just hitting our groove when he quit the band.
Yeah. I mean, we're just getting to the swing of this cat daddy-o. All right. Sorry. Good.
Finally. At least you know when to apologize now. Go ahead.
The word, Bill, is schedule.
Schedule. I can spell this. Schedule is, let's see.
As you pick up a pen and write it out?
That's annoying. He's got to write out every word. That's
S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E. Schedule.
That is correct.
Yes!
That is correct.
That was a
tie game all around.
That was a fucking layup. 2-2, DeRosa.
All right.
Huh? What do your pyramids got to say now?
I'm just picturing you as an 8-year-old kid drinking a beer in Boston.
Oh, God. What a hacky. Really? And I'm picturing you in a fucking toga.
What? I wasn't...
Which is actually Roman. I'm trying to dress like King Tut.
Why are you getting all mean? I wasn't going hacky on that. I wasn't...
Because it upsets you, Joe. Makes your face get all squished
Was
up.
that hacky?
You know what it is? I'm sick of you sitting here with your feet up and your 24-ounce Arizona iced tea.
With apple juice in it.
Yeah, like you have this body of work.
Gayest drink ever.
And you can just rest on your laurels.
Can I actually get you want a water? No, can I get a green tea with apple juice? I was playing off the pyramid thing. I was going back. I was hitting the hacky
Joe,
ball.
I don't care.
Go fuck yourself, Bill.
It's a competition, Joe. I'll be nice at the end.
Dumb Irishman.
So this is to Lou, right?
It's over to Lou. Round 46. The score is 2-all.
2-all. The word is guarantee.
Oh, Jesus Christ! If you can't get this one, Lou.
G-U-A-R. A-N-T-E-E.
That is correct.
I thought he was going to forget the last E. That was good.
I was going to give him the buzzer, too.
E. You almost had to put your badge on the table with that one.
You sound like a guy trying to lie his way through something. Yeah.
All right, so he's to 3 first. Now, if we, this is the knockout round. He's to 3 first. So if you miss this one, you're out. If I miss this one, Lou wins. But if one of us gets to 3, we go into overtime, which is a speed round. They just yell out a word, and whoever spells it first wins.
All
right, Danny. Over to Joe DeRosa.
Joe DeRosa. The word to spell is...
Give him a hard one.
Indispensable.
Nice. Joe, you're done. Thanks for coming to the tournament. He's already clearing the throat. He's nervous. Rubbing his upper lip to get rid of the sweat. The pen is out. Ladies and gentlemen, the pen is out. Joe is writing.
Look at those effeminate ankle socks that he's wearing. I can't stop looking at that.
Those Chris Everett socks. They should have like a little ball in the back of them. You look like you're about ready to go play Billie Jean King in a set of doubles. He's not even listening. Look at him.
I'm not. I'm concentrating on my word that I need to...
I don't like this whole pen and paper horseshit.
Well, fuckface started it, so now we all get to do it.
Well, you had the do-over.
The do-over. I said R by accident.
Joe, just get... the clock is coming down. Come on. Quit dragging it out and just get the misery over with. Do you shave your legs, too? Jesus, he looks like Ginger or Marianne from the fucking calf down.
I don't. I have hair right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, if you go up high enough, you got hair.
You're right. What a fag. He doesn't have hairy ankles.
No, you know what you have?
Chose for that.
No, I'm not talking about hairy ankles. I can see halfway up your fucking calf, Joe. You look like you've been wearing like dress socks, like you used to have a desk job or something like that. You know, it kind of rubs. My brother's like that. He sold health insurance for years.
What other socks should I wear with sneakers, Bill?
How about some male socks?
What am I supposed to wear? Tube socks with fucking red stripes around my thigh? I'm wearing fucking ankle socks. The fuck am I supposed to wear? You want me to wear pussycat doll socks?
No, I don't. I want you to wear socks. Those aren't socks. Lou, you got to admit, little effeminate.
They're fucking the socks you wear with sneakers.
Little effeminate. Joe, just because you yell it doesn't make it right. Now spell your fucking word.
What kind of socks are you wearing?
Socks.
Let me see them.
I got great socks on.
Let me see them, Bill. You're wearing black ankle socks. You fucking douchebag.
You know what's funny? I forgot what socks I had on. I think I'm all right.
I didn't even know they made black ankle socks.
You're talking about Jordan wore them.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes him cool.
Michael Jordan, Bill Burr. There you go. Spell your word.
Really? All right, Bill.
You took a long time here, Joe. Come on, our guest is falling asleep over here, Joe. Let's go.
Indispensable. INDESPENSABLE.
Over. Joe, you're out.
I'm not out.
No, you're out.
That's it.
No. I got my last chance.
Yeah, I know.
How do you spell it
for you? Where is it? You said INDES. It's INDIS.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me a break.
Well, isn't that the whole point of this little competition?
It right, Joe.
Joe is out. He gets the big X.
Yeah, I like that.
Now we're going to... All right, so this is make or break, right? Make or break.
I got to hit a 3 here to stay in the March Madness. Don't worry, Lou. You're going to be home sleeping in about fucking 8 seconds.
No, don't worry. Relax. It's okay.
Bill, the word is...
Be easy.
License.
Oh, good. Stick it right up your fucking red-haired ass.
Don't you go in your pocket.
What?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm fucking going for my pen, you cunt.
No, you're not.
It's behind your ear,
He's going,
stupid.
he's going for his...
Oh, my actual
you have
license?
a pen behind your ear.
Oh, all right. I got a marker here, too.
You old man.
Joe, if you're going to sit there and act like, first of all, you're in better physical condition, we should finish this with a push-up contest, all right, fuckface?
We should. I can do 60. How many can you do?
61. License. We're going to overtime. I thought if I had confidence.
LICENCE.
You know what it is? LISCENCE. You know what it is?
Let me spell it right. Let me spell it back in.
It's no, you're not back in. After you heard 58 different, there's only one other spelling, which is the right way. What is it, Danny?
LICENSE.
That is correct.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, my God, I forgot the N. No, I didn't.
Well,
all right.
congratulations.
Lou, you told us a
Lou
great
wins
story.
the spelling bee.
We're going to give you an uninformed refrigerator magnet.
As soon as we get them.
Bill and Joe are still morons.
Yep.
Equally morons with disgusting socks on both sides of the racial spectrum.
You're making fun of him for white ankle socks, and then you're wearing...
I know, like he took, like it looks like he took dress socks and cut them down to ankles.
You know what happened?
Couldn't have worked more perfectly.
This is what I ended up. I had like 50,000 pairs of socks, and I was just sick of all the white ones because after a while they're just gray.
But those socks stink too. That's what I was saying.
Regular socks. Yeah,
they look like dirty.
Out of all of ours, I think he has the most manly socks. All right, Lou, put your foot on the table. We got to judge you now, flat foot. What do you got?
I hope he's not wearing socks.
Oh, Lou's wearing faded dress socks.
How old are those?
Were they the socks that you were wearing at the end with your uniform that was falling off your body?
Yes, they were.
When you were wearing the
bag. When I was.
All right, we're going to go to a break. Lou, thank you so much for coming by. You definitely got to come back.
Thank you for having me. I'll definitely come back.
You got to tell us some more cop stories and tell us how to get out of tickets and all that stuff. You're listening to Uninformed.
You just heard the hot new track, The Spelling Bee. Up next, another street classic, DJ Bernard Valentine's remix of Who's Gonna Keep You Out of Heaven. Yeah, Uninformed.
All right, here's the deal. We were before we went to break, we were talking about what's the one thing that's going to keep you out of heaven. We got a lot of people doing a bunch of fucked up shit to animals. Danny, is there any way we can go to some of these people? Yeah. This guy says, as a teen,
that's
girls
we got Underdog. Underdog, what's up, man?
Not much, just driving along.
All right, man, we got to hear this. He says, as a young teen, you fuck girls in their sleep.
Yeah,
my sister used to have sleepovers all the time, and me being the younger brother would always make nice chocolate milkshakes for everybody. And I would dump Seroquel, which is a very potent sleeping pill.
We have a winner.
In the milkshakes, and then
bouncing around from girl to girl.
How old were you?
I was 13.
How old were they?
My sister was 2 years older, so 15. This went on for, about 3 or 4 years.
Didn't these girls, it must have been real confusing with that. I've never done it before. And
where do you get this Seroquel from?
My grandmother, she liked taking her sleeping pills at night.
Didn't the girls realize when all of a sudden they wanted to pass out for no reason that something was afoot?
Well, I like this guy. This guy's so old school. He's before date rape drug.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sick of coming up with a line. It's just, it's not working with these fourth graders. I feel like
Jesus.
There's got to be a way.
How many girls did you do this to?
There was, probably 4 or 5 altogether.
4 or 5? Over the course of how long?
Well, my sister was friends with these girls for years.
Mm-hmm. So you had like 4 or 5 of them that you were consistently banging. First of all, they're 15 and you're making them chocolate shakes. I mean, were they retarded?
They sound like they were coming in for the shakes.
Did you make them silly hats?
No, we'd all sit around and get high, smoking pot, and then everybody wants
So,
dude, you aren't.
At any point, did you ever have sex with a woman while they were conscious, or is?
Well, yeah, I do now that I'm older.
This way.
I was a perverted 13-year-old boy,
Now just rape them regular.
Yeah, you're just you're basically you were like a serial raper and poisoner, basically.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're so fucking evil. Right now, the devil is sweating for his job.
Yeah.
In hell. He's like,
you know what this guy gets?
It's pretty awful.
This guy gets the corner office. Like, you don't even get punished. It's just like, this guy's got a lot of ideas, man. You get so evil, you become a made guy.
I like where your head's at, kid.
All right,
you know corner office company
nobody is going to top that one. We got a winner there. We got a winner. All right, that's if they let us do this again there, Joe, I think that one's a winner.
I like
Great.
that.
It's a little confessional.
That guy goes to hell before anybody else.
That was the perfect one to end on, actually.
Yeah.
That was the showstopper.
I wonder when he first actually, it was like when he actually had consensual sex, he was probably like nervous, like this is so new to me. Like, you're awake.
He probably said a bunch of crazy shit, and the girl was like, "What are you talking about?" Because he just says God knows what to unconscious little girls. Really upset by that call. Really upset.
Let's hear some other stuff. I thought somebody was going to say I fucked somebody's wife or some shit like that.
No, we might.
What do we got here? What happened? What happened, Danny?
Well, the call I really wanted to go to, I guess, couldn't hang on.
Oh, that guy, he's got to, all right, well.
All right, well, let's go to Kevin in Wyoming. What's up, Kevin? Thanks. I guess we're not going to Kevin in Wyoming.
What was that noise?
That was him hanging up. That was him like freaking out, going, "Oh my God, they're going to go to me."
Oh, okay.
And couldn't handle it. All right, let's go to Dave in Jersey. What's up, man?
Hey, I was just calling about the dog that you hit. I'm a truck driver, man. You got to hit those fucking things if they're in your way. And the last thing you want to do is tell the family, because they're just gonna call the cops on you or something.
So can you be my lawyer? When I die, can you commit suicide and then, just stick up for me up there? Hey, listen, man. Fuck you. You went around it, man. What did you do? What's gonna keep you out?
Yeah, dude, he's just. All right, I think he's listening to himself now.
Turn your radio, turn your CD down.
He's breaking. But what did that guy do? He's a truck driver. Enough said. You know how many tranny rim jobs he's gotten in some fucking. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but that's her job. It's a job. It's a consensual transaction. It's not legal. But you know what I'm saying?
Bill, I went for the joke. You got to take all the steam out of it. I just was trying to be funny for a second.
Is it bitter?
Oh yeah, I'm real bitter over here.
I'm trying to help you out here.
What?
I'm trying to. Okay, people, for the love of God, can you fucking? I don't, Joe. You know what? Why don't you introduce the topic? Because every time I tell these people to call in,
well, the topic, the thing that I'm very curious about is if you're gonna die. We talked about this. If you die, what would your prayer be? What would the thing that you
Dude, I want these people. I want to hear these people's story. Like,
I thought you were saying you want to switch gears.
No,
I'm sorry.
I was saying,
yeah. Well, listen, we're taking calls. This is what we're taking calls for. We want to know what thing you did in your life, the one ultimate awful evil thing that's going to keep you out of heaven when you get interviewed by God when you get there, if it exists. So who's got something? Call us up. I think the whole idea of heaven and hell are so absurd.
Jesus, yo, you're just adding to the kitten story right here.
You know.
Or shit that's going to keep you out.
Well, you know, if you're going to do something, you do it right. You know, I'm not going to pussyfoot. That's what I'm going to say to God. I didn't pussyfoot around with you. I told you how I
just
felt.
Just for that pun, you should go to hell. All right, what do you got, Dan?
All right, Daryl in California, you got a story?
Yeah, I got one. First of all, you don't mind if I play along and actually stay on topic.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank you.
First guy tonight.
Okay, you fucking retards, when they ask a question, call up and answer it.
That's
anyway,
right.
Here's mine. I was dating my, I'm like you guys, I sort of dated out of my race. I'm a white guy, and I dated a Mexican. I married her, and her brother just wouldn't stop fucking with us and everything, so I ended up calling immigration on him and had him deported.
No, wait a minute. Let's get back to them fucking with you. What were they doing?
Just, always, I could never go over to her house because they always talk shit about me. I make a pretty decent living and stuff like that. But, I'm a typical when I'm a fat fuck, so, they always bitch about that. They're always bitching about just what, I don't treat her well enough, that she doesn't get to, have more of the decisions and stuff, and just like bullshit things.
So let me ask you this. They never came to you like, you're a white guy with my Mexican sister. They just attacked you for your weight, and you had them sent out of the country?
No, it never had anything to do with the white thing, And this one brother, though, he would just never, and then he'd get drunk, and I'd go over there, and he'd like try and like hug me, and grab my fucking ass, and then I'm just like,
and your man
tits. And then we had a kid, and then it's going great, but this guy would just, never stopped. So he was illegal. I knew he was working, and I called immigration. And
I love this. This is what he's going to be saying to God. Right. And I go over there, he's grabbing my ass, and he's feeling my tits. It's not like I put him out in the ocean. He was still on land. Well, let me ask you this, dude. At what point did you decide, like, oh yeah, motherfucker? Did you ever?
Well, you know what? I mean, it took me about a year because I always played it off my head. I recently saw you on stage, and you're always, I know part of, one of the things you talk about is that just want to walk up to somebody, just, you think these evil thoughts, you never think you'll go through with it. But I was just, for like a year, I was thinking this evil thought, and then I just had it, and I just said, I can't remember what the exact incident, it was just, it was probably something small, but it was just one of those camels,
What did he do, tickle you under your chin? What did he tickle you under your chin? Your double chin? Which chin did he tickle? Where you were just like, all right, fuck this.
That's a good one, dude.
He gave my nipple a tweak.
Wow. Does your wife know?
Oh no! This is like confessional, man. This is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Fuck that. I'm sorry. You know what? I crossed the line.
Yeah. This is like. I didn't even use my real name.
All right, brother. I'll see you in hell.
Hey, I got one more thing.
What?
Billy, did you ever I saw you in Ontario, did you ever take out that Christmas tree?
No, I didn't, but thanks for bringing up a reference only you and I would know. All right. Thanks. You know what? You played along the whole time, and you fucked it up in the end. Hey, man, thanks for calling. All right, let's go to somebody else.
All right, let's go to Russ in PA.
All right, Ross. We're hearing what's the one thing you did that's going to keep you out of heaven.
Russ, you're on the air, dude.
Sorry. Hey, I can't be getting someone deported, but does killing a friend's rabbit keep you out of heaven?
Jesus,
a lot of animal shit.
What did you do? What did you do?
My buddy has like 3 acres of land, and he had about 6 pet rabbits, not penned or nothing. I hit it with my motorcycle, killed it, got off the bike, looked at the door, thought about going to tell him, got on the bike and took off.
Yeah,
I went over to his house a week later and like, oh, someone ran my rabbit over. Oh, that's too bad.
That's good.
Hey, you didn't do it on purpose though, right?
No.
All right.
That's great, dude. And you probably got that good, perfect murder feeling when he said that, like you got away with it. That had to be actually pretty satisfying.
Yeah,
I did it. I pulled it off.
I know. Is it like the telltale heart, though? A couple of veterinarians come over and you hear that rabbit under your floorboards.
He keeps seeing carrots everywhere. What's for dinner? Carrots? This is chicken.
One day he just flips out. All right, I did it. It was me.
I killed the rabbit.
All right, cool, man. I think you might be all right on that one. It's just a fucking rabbit. There's a million of them.
Yeah, rabbits are kind of cunts, you know.
What percentage, Joe?
Yeah, all of them. They're all kind of. I had a pet
really?
rabbit. It was a real dick. It used to bite me all the time. You know, they're shitty. They're not good pets.
I would go with like 80. What percentage of rabbits would you say are cunts? 87?
No, I'd say all of them. I don't like them. They're just
100%.
big rats with big ears.
And they don't taste that good either.
House. You had rabbit before?
All right, you know what? That guy's making it to heaven. All right, fuck it. Next guy.
In the clear, buddy.
Let's hear it.
Adam, Indiana.
What's keeping you out of heaven?
Hey, Bill, first of all, you're my favorite comedian.
Thank you very much.
I have not told anybody this. The only other person that knows this is the buddy that was with me. But we found a dead deer. It was over a fence. I don't know how I got there, but...
Please say that you fucked it, please. Please say that.
That's what I was saying. It's already dead. No, that's the only thing left to do to it.
That might not be as bad. We decided to cut the head off of it and put it on this girl's doorstep that we didn't like.
Oh, wow.
Man, that's kind of, that's a little high school prankish.
Yeah, you'll go to heaven.
You're all right.
I like it, though, to get through the act of cutting off the Dude, cutting off a head isn't fucking easy. You know what I mean? That took...
You know what? I will say that. But
yeah, I know. I just sounded like a real fucking psychopath.
I felt bad about that for the last 12 years.
Well, let me ask you, why did you do it to this girl? Let's get into the pain of this. Was this the girl that, you know...
The pain really came from him because she broke up with him and she told him he was an ass or whatever. And so I said, hey, let's cut the fucking head off and stick it on her doorstep.
You're just being a good friend. Well, first of all, what fucking state do you live in that this is just readily available? How are we going to get her back? We're going to steal her iPod? No, let's cut the ass off a boar and stick it in their chandelier.
Yeah, it's a Midwest state.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going over to Bill's side on this. I don't think that's that bad.
I think you're a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if things go south in my relationship, I might be giving you a call.
I think Jesus would understand that. I think Jesus will be like, yeah, we did that for Mark once. He.
I wish somebody did me a solid when I was hanging up there. This guy probably would have cut the cross down. All right, he's fucking in. All right, man, that's 2 guys in a row. I think you're going to heaven. Come on, somebody's got to be out there.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Somebody fucked their brother's wife. Somebody did something.
Right here. This is it.
Here we go.
Here we go. Jeff in Long Island.
The bit killer.
Evil landslide.
Jeff, Long Island. You're on the air, dude. Go.
Dude, all the good...
this is Jeff.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Hi, Jeff.
No shit.
Jeff, let's hear it, man. What's keeping you out of heaven?
I fucked my wife's mother.
Yeah! Oh!
Yeah! Stop lying. You ain't stop. Hey, dude, you ain't stop lying. Don't say that.
Wow.
No.
Say it again.
I'm not lying.
Say it again. You did what?
I fucked my wife's mother.
Dude, you are fucking awesome.
She must have been hot.
Wait. We want to hear. I want to hear this whole fucking story. How this went down. How did it go down?
Starting with how old she was.
Yes.
How old was she?
Yeah.
Please say
She's
70.
like 55.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah.
And this happened this year, or was it?
No, it was like 2 years ago.
It sounds like a Shannon Tweed movie.
Or Skin of Bass.
How old?
I was over there, and they were having a little party. All her mother's friends.
That's how it starts.
And they were bringing up people they think they could do. I was over there doing like a side job, doing the plumbing work.
People. That sounds like a porno.
No, it didn't happen then.
I was delivering a pizza. My buddy's cleaning the pool.
At what point did Billy Zane come in? All right, go ahead. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
Okay. After all that, I heard them bring up my name. So I went home and I was thinking about it and all, and I told my wife,
3 days after that, I said, I got to go over there. I forgot to put a shut-off valve on. So I went over there, and that's
what an excuse.
I like it.
Is that even the old shut-off valve? Oh, you better go fix it.
Is that a real term?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a busted aspirator tube, and it just came in.
It's just called a shut-off valve? They couldn't think of like a closure pipe or something like that? All right, go ahead.
So that's when it happened.
Well, tell us how it happened.
So you show up, you're wearing your onesie, zip,
or just your tube belt.
He's wearing that Fonzie mechanic zip up, holding a shut-off valve.
Plumber's crack was showing.
So what did you say? She opens the door. Are you feeling a sex vibe? Are you putting out your vibe? What's going on?
Well, I wanted to do it. And I heard her bring it up that night, so I was doing, like, little things. I kept coming in and out of the house and walking by her and all. Then I went into the her.
How are you walking by her?
You seductress, you.
Yeah. I kept coming in and out of the house. I'm walking by her like a streetcar.
You know, I drink a glass of water. Little things to get her riled up.
But Jeff, you
should write a book, man. This is really great tips.
So she says your name. You go back.
Christ.
You go back to the house to try and finish the job. And isn't she surprised to see you back there because obviously there was no more work to be done?
No, I told her that there was a shut-off valve that needs to be added in her master bathroom, right from her bedroom. So she came back, and I told her that I heard them talking, and she was at all. And that's when it happened.
She was at all or in awe? What are you saying?
At all. That I heard everything that happened.
What's this guy's name?
That they were talking about.
This is Jeff.
From where?
Waldorf, Maryland.
Come on,
Jeff,
we'll get
Jeff,
here,
only somebody from Bumblefuck, Maryland could fuck up a story this cool. How is this story stinks?
It's still good.
It's going
but you know what? He's letting us fill in all the blanks. It's like, I said I overheard it, and she said, okay, and then we did it. No, fuck that. How were you talking to her? What did you say? So I heard your little conversation, and...
I said I heard what y'all were talking about at the party, and you think that you could get me. I said, well, I'm here. And that's when it happened.
What?
The music wasn't set. I didn't pour a glass of champagne, or I didn't wow her.
Well, she's 55. She should be happy even looking at her.
But
That's cold, Bill.
Your wife's mother fucked you behind your wife's back. She really did that?
Yes.
You're going to heaven. She's going to hell.
Let me ask you this, though.
Really?
let me ask you this, though. How many people live in your town?
A lot.
A lot? And you can just come with that gruff kind of...
Let me tell you, it's
I heard
dark.
You thought you could get with me.
It's very dark in my town.
It's very what?
It's very dark.
What are you saying? There's a lot of black people there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Jeff, what the fuck are you talking about?
So you are so sticking with your own race that you're going to grab a shut-off valve and fuck the 55-year-old mother of your wife?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You are going to hell. Jeff, you're a real piece of shit.
That's going to be like, you ever seen like when Donald...
He literally just goes, oh, come on, man. Don't make me feel bad about fucking my wife's mom behind her back.
Yeah, you know what,
dude? I'm keeping it in the family.
Well,
that's what you've been doing for years.
Look, you got to give it up to the guy, okay? It's fucking evil, but there's some sort of fucked up Hall of Fame he just went into.
All right.
We got time for one more?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the call, Jeff.
Easy, man.
All right, man.
See
Thanks.
you, buddy.
Jesus
you think
Christ.
he goes to hell?
He what?
You think he goes to hell for that?
I think you go to purgatory.
Dude,
while
that's
they decide. Like, what the fuck
I don't
is
know.
that?
Part of me thinks God would be like, how can you not? Like,
I mean, especially if your wife is hot. That's what I'm saying. And then you got to, if your wife is a dime, right? And then you see your mother, and it's like, whoa, okay, that's where that fucking dime came from. You know, like
and
her
plus,
mom is rocking.
When people talk shit, you know, they got to back it up. You know, it's just
Exactly.
like talking trash. I could get with them. Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah?
Do something special.
Let's close with
go, Grandma. Show me something.
All right, let's
close to the real evil one.
Let's talk to Grizzly in Yonkers. Grizzly, what's up?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, Grizzly.
If there's hell, I'm definitely going to it. I fucked up bad. When I was younger, I worked as sacristan for my church. I collected the collection, and pretty much every week grabbed a couple bucks out of it. A couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. It was pretty fucking bad.
That's it?
You ain't going to hell for that.
Come on, man.
Unless you follow that with, and then I put it in an altar boy's asshole before I fucked him.
Then you go to hell.
Hey, your story stinks.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Wait a minute. Here's a loophole, though. What did you use the money for?
Well, mostly drugs.
Okay, we're getting there.
The church has enough money.
We're getting. Come on, you gotta throw. Did you sell them to children?
No, I was just.
Dude, you're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
The church has enough money. They deserve to get a little bit ripped off here and there. They're doing fine.
You're fine.
I did get caught once, and that kind of sucked. So
you already got caught. You already paid your penance.
What'd you have to do to get out of it?
Not much. The priest is pretty cool, but the next week I stole.
Not much is a hand job in the Catholic Church. All right, let's.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Keith. Keith the trucker.
Let's get a good one to end here.
All right, hopefully this one will be good. Keith.
What do we got here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, first off, I really don't carry any guilt for this because of the shit that my old lady's put me through. But she had about a dozen times or so screwed around on me while we were dating before we got married. Mm-hmm. And leading up to my marriage, there was somebody she was screwing around with, so I decided to have one last fling. Well, we got married. I had dumped the girl a couple of days prior. Coming back from our honeymoon, I couldn't account for my old lady's whereabouts after work. I assumed she went back and fucked the guy she was screwing from before we got married. So the next goddamn day, I got a hold. Yeah, the next day I got a hold of my ex-girlfriend, went over and I fucked my ex-girlfriend. 2 days after I said my vows. But my old lady's fucked around 7 times since we've been married, so,
yeah, so what's
I'd have to say she got me back.
Why, if you knew your girl was fucking around continually, why would you marry her? This is like a Dr. Phil guess.
I've asked myself that question. We've been together for 20 years, 17 of it married, and my buddies don't understand it. I don't understand. I really don't know why I've stuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
I love her, but I hate her.
That was a letdown, though. Dude, you were talking with such intensity. That's why I said, this guy did something awful.
Kill somebody.
Yeah. He was saying it like that. So I marched my fucking ass right to the store. I bought a goddamn gun. I waited to get my fucking permit.
Killed the guy she was fucking.
We should have exaggerated our shit. So, you know what I mean? Just to make everybody feel like comfortable. Like, I sawed this guy's fucking leg off.
All right.
All right, thanks, Keith. Hopefully, let's try to end. I think, from what it looks like on the screen here, this could be the showstopper. So let's see what we got. Sam in Compton.
Oh, shit.
Sam. Oh, please be there. What's up, Brute?
What do you got, man?
Okay.
What's keeping you out of heaven?
I'm pretty fucking nervous right now, right? So, I've never told anyone this before.
All right, let's hear it.
But, all right, I was 7 at the time. Let me just say that right now.
Okay.
And I kind of would fuck around with my niece, and she was 6. I would, like, feel her up and kiss her and go down on her, stuff like that.
Was she resisting?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, it seems that you're both
That's
underage.
fine.
I think it cancels each other out. It's now pedophilia. It's
Cousins
two potential pedophilia victims going at it. I can't do the math on that one. I mean, if she's not old enough to know that she shouldn't be doing it, I mean, a year later, do you know you're not supposed to be with a 6-year-old? When I was in kindergarten, I used to look up the dresses of the other girls.
I think he's more freaked out that it's his niece. But, dude, I know cousins that do that shit all the time. I know a ton of people that go, yeah, I know a guy that fucked his cousin when he was like 16.
Joe, just admit it.
No, it wasn't me. I would tell you. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah, I have a friend.
He's got all these details. Yeah, you know, he's wearing this fucking tied up Charlie's Angel style.
But I mean, that guy was like he well knew it was wrong, and I don't think that's that bad. Well, I guess the bottom line is that Greer, Bill, and myself will be occupying hell by ourselves.
I mean, he lit it on fire.
I'm in hell by myself. Y'all fine. That shit y'all did is nothing. Y'all fine.
No, I got other shit that.
Really?
All right, listen. We got to take a break here. You're listening to Uninformed with Bill Burr, Joe DeRosa.
Uninformed. Uninformed. And that concludes this special-ass edition of Uninformed. The Uninformed Mixtape, Volume 1. Blam! Tune in next month when Bill and Joe be back with a brand new motherfucking live-ass episode. Then you stupid bitches can start calling in again. Till then, you cocksuckers can visit www.myspace.com/uninformedradio. Also, be sure to peep myspace.com/Bill Burr and myspace.com/Joe DeRosa. My name is Bernard Valentine from the world's filthiest sex rap group, Deep. If you a sex nasty motherfucker like me, you can go peep my shit on myspace.com/deepmusic. Alright, motherfuckers, it's been fun, and as they say, I'm Peter Boy on this motherfucker, which means I'm out. Uninformed.